can be a great people, Kal-El. They wish to be. They only lack the light to show the way.
Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Welcome to the channel. We're at Goodwill, where we find items to resell, primarily on eBay. Buy low, sell high is the name of the game. It's been a tough week because of allergies. So I've got the big guns in today. Took some Sudafed to hopefully power me through the day. It's been my eyes, watery eyes, stuffy nose, typical stuff, but can really take you down, especially that sinus pressure. So if you guys are suffering from allergies, in my opinion, don't hesitate to use, the medication to help you out. Really help out your day, or really help your day go smooth, in my opinion. Especially when you're working for yourself, when you're a full-time reseller, you got to get out there. You still got to be looking for items. You still got to pack items, ship items. You got to list items. So there's so much to do, and you want to try to be as close to 100% as possible. All right, we're going to get in there, try to find items. I was already at one Goodwill today. I think I said this in a previous video. I try to shoot at least 3 or 4 videos in one day, going to Goodwill, or thrift stores, I should say, because sometimes I do go to Savers. But let's get in there, see what we can find. I'm going to try to do some more like selfie shot or selfie or vlog style with me in the video while I'm in the thrift store. So I'll be holding my camera, and so it might look a little bit different because I'm holding my camera more, and I only got one hand to operate with. So try to test stuff out, open stuff with one hand. Let's get in there, see what we can find. Oh, like the video, hit the thumbs up, and subscribe. All right, so at this Goodwill, this is where I start, is the glass. Now over here typically is the, one of those weight vests. Turtles. All right, let's go check out the floor. Not really seeing much there. Oops. Oh, you know what? I'm just realizing something. Okay. We definitely have to get to the floor right now. That's empty. Okay. So, in the glass, there was these figurines. I didn't see them in there. So, I'm going to quickly run through here really quick, and then I'll come back. Okay, success. Now, I was having an issue here because the doggone cart kept moving. But, okay. This right here, exactly what I was looking for. I saw they had moved them out. $11.89 still is not. I'm gonna double check the price on all these. I think they've all been repriced at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see. Excuse me. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. We got 17 total there. So $11.89 still isn't really the best price, but I'm going to just double check all these really quick now that I have them in the cart. And probably, last time I looked them up, and I did a really quick search on a few of them, they're looking right around $25 each. Now, does it meet the profit margin that I would like? No. But, because I'm going to be able to buy in such a large quantity, and they're all brand new, sealed, there's not much work, they're all pretty clean, I'm going to take that deal. Again, I'm just going to do a little bit more research, because the last time I did, it seemed to be worth it. So I'm just going to double check, and I'll get right back to you. But it looks like they repriced them, and originally they were $27. So definitely a lot better from a price perspective, but let's see what we can do. Oh, something kind of cool. Look for this. Is that? Oh, Jamaica. Oh, okay. I thought it was something kind of vintage. Actually, kind of. The work, you know what? I think I might picked it up for $2. Oh, is that trip now? Oh, it's in good condition. I kind of like the artist work on there. It's pretty nice. Now, a lot of people love Jamaica. I haven't been to Jamaica, but is that like? It looks like it's really. All right, we'll take this. Let's take a. All right, I'll get back. Okay, we're kind of back to normal here after that little little rush of trying to find where those fairies went. Kind of a little miscellaneous. Hmm. I just sold the this right here. I just sold the Army kind of scrapbook photo book recently for $30. I find those Army Navy ones, military basically. Those are pretty good. Music is kind of loud in here, so I hope if I keep talking, they won't pick up the music. But you never know. You never know. The other day I had to edit a video, I think like 2 or 3 times. It was really kind of annoying because of music. So, and you really don't know if the music's going to get caught or not until you upload it. Or at least I don't know if there's another way besides just uploading it and then, so it's copyright. Okay, we're still moving through. Make sure I'm not going to hit anything with this cart. This cart has a mind of its own. When I was stacking it full of the fairies, it just started just wandering off. All right. Oh yeah, let's just go to this back wall. I kind of just blew through here pretty quickly. Usually plenty of board games. Oh, what is this down here? Look at this gravity. What is that? Gravity 3 sharper image. Pump action. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, it's one of those things where the ball, like, kind of a target practice type of thing. The balls are just kind of being pushed into the air, hovering, and you shoot them down or shoot them out of the way. It might be. This is Disney. I think it's Disney. Looks like it's from a place where you get the in Disneyland where you get the what's it called? You get the Dole Whips. But it's $6. Don't think it's worth it. Bibleopoly. These are the they're like what do you call it? Bible Monopoly. but for the Bible. They're not officially branded monopolies, so you got to be cautious. It's all, I'm not going to really got to be careful with those. You can easily get a Vero, a takedown, and you don't want too many of those on your account. There's a little Space Jam. Looks like Bugs Bunny. What else we got? Take a look down here real quick. Little cups there. Okay. Down here. As you can see, really nothing in this basket aisle. Look at that little wallet came out of here, probably. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything there. Let's continue on down the road here. I really quickly shot through here. Not really running, but I just wanted to know where they put those fairies and what they're priced at. They dropped the price, I think about $15 or $16 on them, so. Okay, I mean, the fairies might be the only thing we walk out of here with. Lots and lots of stuff, lots of carts. Fruit mosaic. Doesn't feel very old. Oven, dishwasher, microwave safe. I mean, it's made in Japan, so I don't think it's really going to be worth it though. Look at this here. Little coin purse clip for $3. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna look into that. What the heck is this? Oh, there it is. Whoa. Whoa. Definitely got some damage there, where it's probably been sitting around for too long. Quality isn't really there. At $22 for that. All right, let's check out the mugs. Actually, on our way to the mugs, I know a lot of people like the glass, miscellaneous pottery sections of Goodwill, so just take a look here really quick. I'm going to try to talk through the music because there is a speaker right above this area, so a little Mickey Mouse, the Mickey Mouse snow globe. That water is pretty yellow, so, and it's in LA too. Tend to stay away from these, especially with that yellowing there. Kind of a shame. But let's try to see if there's anything else in here. We got a turkey, pumpkin stuff. Looks like a mug. A half. Oh, here's the other. Well, it's not the half of the mug. Looked like the other half of the mug, but no. The mugs are right on the other side of this section here. Got some weeping gold here. But ooh. Not only is it not worth it, but it's broken. The cat, probably, a cat. There's a rabbit down there, probably some chalk art. A fancy little, thing that's heavy, party light. Yeah, party light, it's a little candle holder, tea light candle holder. Alright. Oops. I was going the wrong direction with the camera. Sorry about that. You guys just got a shot of the ceiling and probably where the speaker's at. Still trying to get used to holding the camera in my hand. But right around here is the mugs. Here we are, the mugs. Everybody loves mugs. Nobody really wants to pay up for mugs on eBay. Unless it's a really special mug, so don't get stuck in that trap. I will tell you if I find a very special mug. The music is incredibly loud right now. So this is like a little copper. I don't even think that's real copper. Alright. But nothing really here. I do not see anything that I collect. So we're going to go ahead and there's still more mugs down here. More mugs. Teacups. Alright, let's rock and roll. Okay, everybody. The following around Goodwill is real. I'm not making it up. I'm not like just sensing and nothing's really happening, but someone was following me, literally following me. They saw the fairies I got and they were interested too. I didn't take any out of anybody's hand when I was picking them up, but they said, asked me if I was taking all of them because I was kind of sorting through them because I noticed there were duplicates. And I said, no, yeah, by all means. At first I thought she was looking at something else, but she was looking at the fairies, and I was like, hey, there's a bunch of duplicates in here. If you want, you can go ahead. Let's split them up, which we did. So, half and half. I think I'm about done here. We're going to wrap it up and head on out. Adios. However, before we wrap it up, I found this Android guy. This Android stuff does pretty well. I picked up another plush, smaller one, which costs like $20, $25. This is $4. I have no idea what it, if I had to guess, $30-ish or so, but I keep this stuff. I'm a huge Android fan, so it's a cool little pillow. But these are the actual fairies we're going to take right here. So I ended up with 9 of them, which is cool. I got the Jamaica thing, got the gold touch. Okay. Gold touch. That's part of an ergonomic keyboard set. So, okay. Now, is this the box that's been floating around here? That is the box that's been floating around here. Now it's just the box. The power supply is gone. So that's what happens. All right, but we're wrapping up this trip. I'm heading back home. I got orders to ship. Stay tuned for the recap. Hey everybody, welcome to the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed that trip over to Goodwill. As you guys saw, I got those fairies, and those fairies, I had seen them there in the glass case, and the glass case items don't turn over as much in the glass as they do on the floor. So I'd been watching them, seeing them there. I knew they were eventually going to pull them out, because $27 was a bit much for our area. It is what they go for on eBay, but you got to remember, eBay is worldwide. Everywhere eBay ships, that's your market right there. So, $27 at our Goodwill there, those were not going to move. Nobody was going to come in there and pay $27 a ferry to take those. So, it just wasn't applicable to our, to our location. Now, they priced them down to $11.59, I believe. And so, at that price point, we can definitely make some money on those. And I decided to go ahead and snag those. After I noticed they were gone out of the case, I figured they got to be on the floor somewhere. But they had just taken them back earlier that day, I'm assuming, because they were on the cart and they're already repriced. And then, as I told you guys in the video, I don't know if you saw the person. I don't think I filmed the actual person that was there, but she approached me. At first, she approached me as I was kind of looking through them, making sure they were all good, they were all still sealed. Then I started noticing duplicates. I didn't notice there were duplicates in the beginning, but there was almost a duplicate of every single one. And I think there was maybe only one that did not have a duplicate. But she actually approached me, and I wasn't sure really what she wanted. She didn't say anything. She was kind of staring. I thought she was looking at something on a shelf. So I just, said, excuse me, and I went around to another area just so I can continue just making sure, everything was good with those. But she approached me again. I was like, what the heck? What's going on here? I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what's happening? And then she was asking about the ferry. She was like, are you going to take all those ferries? I'm like, oh, well, maybe you want some. I mean, by all means, And then she said, well, I'll just take your... I said, I'm just going through them because there's duplicates. And she goes, well, I'll take whatever you don't want or the duplicates, And then like, all right, fine. Cool. So we split them up and we're good. So keep an eye on things. If you're at Goodwill all the time, like I am, or if you're a full-time reseller, because you're always going to Goodwill, if that is one of your sourcing, on your sourcing route, or a place you source at. I know, depending upon your location where you live, some of your Goodwills might not be as good as the ones you see in my videos or other people's videos. But I go there so frequently, I see the stuff, and I see items, and I'll be like, all right, I'll just wait. I know they're going to price that down eventually, and when they do, boom, then you can potentially have an opportunity to snag it and actually make profit. So I'll be able to actually make profit on those ferries. Well, once they sell, that is. So that was pretty cool. And then, sourcing is going to be different just depending upon where you live. I'm in San Jose, Bay Area. It's really different. I was down in Monterey, which was about 45 minutes. Poor. I posted a video up in Santa Cruz, and that was, in my opinion, poor Goodwill. There was another one, but we didn't go to that one. I've gone up north, up towards San Francisco. Not actually in San Francisco, but up towards San Francisco. And it was okay, like mediocre. The best ones appear to me, in my opinion, right here in the San Jose area. San Jose, Santa Clara, Campbell. Basically Santa Clara County is what it is. So those appear to be the best ones, and with the best merchandise to resell. In my opinion, of course, there's always going to be instances where, all of a sudden it'll be like a gold mine at one random Goodwill. They'll just get some great stuff that someone donated, and hey, you can get a good score. But really, what I'm looking for is consistency, and these Goodwills, flea market, just have great consistency as far as inventory that I can post on eBay. Now, also too, because there's a lot of resellers that go through there. They go through all these places, and I'm probably one of very, very many resellers. I mean, I know Saturday mornings at one Goodwill, there's a lot of resellers that are just waiting for the doors to open. Everybody going in there in the beginning are all resellers, as far as I know. So there's a lot of competition. But not everybody necessarily has all the same knowledge. So my goal with these videos is to help provide you with that knowledge, so that way you can go in, and sometimes, people jam to the clothes. And you guys know I'm not a clothing person. A lot of people in this area are clothing people. And so I don't focus on the clothes. I go target the other areas. I make, just the best educated decisions based on the knowledge that I have. And I have the eBay app, which obviously is a great tool to use. Use it, look items up, see what they're going for, so that we can, make an educated decision as far as whether or not an item is worth it. If it fits within your business model, or if it's gonna sell for the appropriate price so you make the profit that you would like to make on that item. Some people just chase massive volume and just try to get as much stuff with a little bit of profit, and then just try to sell as much as you can. Some people like to sell, sell large, big profitable items, and then, they only have a few items they have to sell. So everybody's model is a little bit different. So, and nobody is right or wrong, but me, I like to go in there. I do like to do a little bit of volume. I also like to find items that are, good profit margin. And I've shown you guys some great items that, I buy really low and do have a high profit. And I do expect to make a high profit or big profit on those items. It does happen, and it does happen often, again, depending upon the area you live in. And it does happen often here in our area, Santa Clara County, basically. It does happen, just like the other day. So the other day I was at Goodwill. They rolled out a cart, and I saw this name right here. I saw this like this. It was sitting like this, straight up. I saw Dymo. I immediately knew a label printer. And this is a good brand to look out for, definitely. I'm not sure all the different models, but it was only $11, so I knew this was going to be priced, or it was going to sell for close to about $100. But actually this model, and it has paper in it, I have all the cords, will actually sell closer to $160. So $11 into $160 from the Goodwill. I tested it, it works and everything, so great item. It's going to be a great profit. And you will come across these items. It just doesn't happen that often. What's more common are, some like the what souls I showed you, your $20, your $30 items. You're taking, $5, turning in 20, 25. So that's more realistic. And depending on where you live, that may be just, the most realistic. Sometimes you might not find big hits, but the more often you go, the more often you're out there at flea markets, the more you're out there at garage sales, the more thrift stores, you're going to come across, these high dollar items, these items that go for a lot. You only pay a little bit, and they go for quite a bit. So this would be like, this would be something crazy, like 15 times my money, somewhere around there is what it'll sell for. Don't forget, there's always fees associated with everything you sell online. Let's say locally. I did sell a picture locally this past weekend, so that was pretty cool. I do post local. I don't do that much local, but I do post items for sale locally. I use Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, and Craigslist. So just sometimes the items is too big, and if it's desirable, I'll put it on there. And we made a sale this past weekend, which was good. Mercari news. If you guys heard about Mercari, they're switching to their return policy now, back to the original. So everybody's competing. Everybody's competing. All these online, all these places where we resell online, they're competing against each other. Goodwill's trying to get customers as well too. They're a store too, so they're competing with other stores as well, trying to get customers. So they're also trying to price items accordingly to try to get, you saw those fairies, they weren't selling at 27. So someone's going to have to come in there and be like, hey, these things are not moving. We got to readjust and rethink what we're going to price these at. And you got to think the same way when you're selling online. If things aren't moving, if, you have items that maybe they are no longer desirable, or maybe they're out of season, or maybe, it's just not, all of a sudden it was a trend and it's not a trend, you got to readjust and rethink your pricing, or might have to get rid of the item altogether because it's not going to sell. All right, that's enough of that. Let's move on. Well, I want to move on to the what solds, because we got a few great what solds. Another weekend in the books. This year is just flying right by. We're having some great sales. eBay is just chugging along. And we're doing pretty well. I haven't this coming week, I should say, or this week when this video comes out, I probably won't have, I think it's on not till later in the week. I have my meeting with eBay, and other eBay people that are associated with the, what is it called, the seller, seller leadership group, I guess. I can't find the email right now, but seller leadership groups. The meeting is with all them. It's a Zoom meeting, so I'll definitely report back if I find anything else. You know, if I get any more information, I definitely gotta, you know, I'm definitely gonna need some help in setting these things up. Like I said earlier, my wife's probably gonna help me out with that. I still need to reach out. I want to have the meeting first, and then see, you know, what it's all about, what everything entails there. Then I'll have to reach out to my contact over at eBay to see where we go from here. Like how do I get this going? How do I get things rolling? How do I get these meetings set up? When I talked to her, when I talked to her initially, I know they said we could potentially use eBay Campus for meetings. We'll see about that as well too, because that would be pretty cool, especially if you guys are local or visiting. We definitely go down to eBay Campus and you know, have a little meeting session. That'd be kind of cool. Otherwise, let's get to the what solds. Okay, and the what solds. Here we go. Everything's gonna pop up over here to my right, but right off the bat, we have, you know, Coach purse, designer purse. This was a really cool one. It was a small one. I found it at Goodwill. It was on the rack. It had been there. You know, I don't remember the date that it was at, because on the tag sometimes they'll have the date. Sometimes they won't have the date. It's kind of strange. I don't know which one they choose to put the date on there and when they don't. But I don't remember the date. But this had been sitting there for at least about an hour or so. Because when I went in there, I didn't see it initially. I saw it when I was walking out of Goodwill. It was there on the rack, so everybody passed it up. I spotted it, immediately knew it was a Coach. Checked it out, just make sure everything was legit. And sure enough, it was cool. Sold, $40. Not crazy, you know, Coach doesn't go for a crazy amount. Some styles do, but this one here, somewhat more modern, really cool. As you can see, the Coach patchwork purse, it was small, so I included pouch in there. Small bag, leather, a great item. This is going to go probably in a poly bag. Probably a padded poly bag is what I'm going to put this in. Because it's really small. It's not very big at all. So, great item. Look out for Coach. You know, if you're not comfortable picking up designer brands, if you can't identify if they're legit or not, I would recommend staying away from them, because you can end up in, you know, some hot water with eBay if you keep selling, you know, items that people are returning as not legit or fake. So be cautious, get to know your brands. The best way to get to know them, go to stores like Macy's, stores that have these designer products. Look at them, feel them, check out stitching, all that. Look it up online. There's plenty of websites to identify real and fakes as well, and what to look out for. I'm comfortable with Coach. Other brands I'm not, like Louis Vuitton, I'm not very comfortable with, so I tend to stay away from that. Many other brands I tend to stay away from, just because I don't know, and I don't want to end up in a situation where I'm, you know, selling fakes on eBay. I don't want to do that. Coach, I know Coach, and easy for me to identify, and sure enough, great one here, sold $40. Okay. Next thing that sold was a Sailor Moon. Now, I wasn't 100% sure if I had shown this, because I know this sold. This item did sell, but then they canceled the order about a day or two. They sent me a message, or it had to have been a day afterward. I think this was also on a weekend, so it might have been a couple of days later, because if they had purchased it, I have 1 day turnaround time, so I would have to ship it out the next day. But I do remember that there was a couple of days in between when the order came in and when I had to ship it out, and I got a message they wanted to cancel it. So I'm not sure if I showed this in the video or not. I don't remember. But this sold again, $26, and I believe the previous one sold for less than this. I believe it sold closer to $15. So I got closer to, actually this was the asking price. $26.43 was the asking price. Take that back. I sent out a 5% off offer, and they took it. So Sailor Moon, and I put a couple pictures in here so I could show you guys the pocket watch. It's not metal, it's mostly plastic. So, but pretty cool. Sailor Moon anime stuff does incredibly well. I actually have a Sailor Moon plush that's going to go up for sale here pretty soon as well. I definitely look out for this type of stuff. This watch was actually on that second picture there, so it kind of had like a... Those aren't gemstones, they're just plastic. So it was just sitting on a table at the flea market. Got it for under $1. And it was just sitting there looking like that. I picked it up. I knew it was cheap. First of all, it's a cheap piece. But the fact that it's Sailor Moon, that's it. You know, I knew I had to pick it up. And I knew there'd be a buyer out there. And sure enough, someone picked it up. And it was working. With watches, I like to be able to fix them and get them working. And by fixing them, I mean I'm just replacing the battery. That's all I'm doing. So I have a bunch of batteries that I picked up actually at a garage sale a while back that I'm still, using to this day. I only paid $5 for those, a bunch of matches, a bunch of other stuff. And so I have a bunch of watch batteries. I have a watch kit that allows me to open up watches and replace batteries. So I'd like to have them leaving here. However, I do have some watches that are brand new, and if they are brand new, I won't I won't really work on them. Really depends what it is. I will not open up and work on them because I want to keep them brand new. If I start to work on it, in my opinion, I can't sell it. I can't sell it as new anymore. So, because I did have a watch recently where I said to them, they said, "Oh, it's not working." I go, "Well, it's brand new. The battery probably needs to be replaced on it." So, okay, baseball gloves. I love selling baseball gloves because if you look for the right brands, they will go for a good price. This one here, this DeMarini Wilson Voodoo gloves, $54. I picked this up with a bunch of other stuff in a big old lot, I remember, for $20 at the flea market. This sold, so I'm already in the profit on that whole lot. I believe I got 2 purses or 3 purses as well. And I believe I also got like a little headset. I'm not 100% sure. But I know it was $20 for the whole lot. So this already paid for it. Put us in the profit. Great brand to look out for. And it was just a great glove. It was a soft glove. I did sell another glove not too long ago. Same brand. Sold for less. And the reason why it sold for less, pretty similar to this one. I believe that the other one I sold was a 13-inch. But it was really, really stiff. Like, it needed a lot of help. Leather, it needed like a lot of leather conditioner to help bring it back to life. So that one probably would have gone for a little bit more, just like this one, closer to $60. But I took less because it was a very stiff glove. Now, make sure that if you are, selling anything online on eBay, and something is like a glove, if it's really stiff, the customer is going to want to know that, because are they going to put in the work to get it back into working condition? Because you really can't use a really stiff glove. So then you got to think, is it a good enough brand for someone to purchase to put the work and time into it? And that brand is a really good brand. And if you could buy it for the right price as well too. So that's also something that you need to think of as well. So baseball gloves still doing incredibly well. We're not in the middle of the season yet, but baseball gloves pretty much sell year round if you have a good brand. Obviously, as we get closer towards spring training earlier in the year, they'll sell a lot quicker, a lot better, and usually for a little bit more. I still have some baseball spikes around here that have not sold, which I'm kind of surprised because they're in great condition. I think I have 2 pairs that are basically brand new, and one that is okay. It's not bad, actually. It's definitely used, but still in great condition. I got them for great prices. I don't know. I mean, at least I think they're really good. I don't know why they're not selling, but I still have them floating around. We'll see how those do. But the gloves do incredibly well. Bats do okay, in my opinion. And I've never really sold batting gloves, so I don't know. I don't know how they would do. I'm guessing they would do pretty good. But obviously, batting gloves don't go for as much as mitts, baseball mitts. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching the video. Please like the video by hitting the thumbs up. Subscribe to the video if you want to continue to see content from me. And let me know what you guys think of the new way. I'm shooting these videos. I'm I have the camera in my hand, so it's a little bit more. I guess my goal is to try to not get other people also in the video, just more focus on the the shelves of the Goodwill. At the flea market though, I think I'm gonna. I don't think I can really hold the camera. I need both hands at the flea market, so flea market will probably continue being the way it is. But when I'm at Goodwill, I can probably operate with one hand a little bit better. So that's probably what it'll look like going forward. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm always trying to improve these videos, trying to make them better and more appealing, more, more educational for you guys. So you guys can, if you guys are here for the reselling content, try to make it entertaining, first of all, because we all want to be entertained. And if you're here for the entertainment, I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. If you guys are here to learn something, if you're a reseller, I hope I'm providing you guys great content to try to learn. Kind of warm in here, guys. I hope you guys are finding great items out there to pick up, to resell online. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. But we'll catch you in the next video.
They can be a great people, Kal-El, they wish to be. They only lack the light to show the way.
Hey everybody, welcome to the video. Welcome to Goodwill. What's today? Today's Saturday morning. We're going to get in there, see what we can find, buy, sell on eBay, buy low, sell highs, what we got to do. Otherwise, if you're not doing that, you're not making money and you'll go out of business, basically. So let's get in there, see what we can find. Like the video, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. But let's get in there and see what we can find. Alright, so right off the bat, we're going to check out the glass here. That's a Lego set right there. Check that out. I have that set actually brand new. What do they want for it? $44. So $44 used, which I think is a good deal. I'll have to look it up. But like I said, I already have that set brand new in the box. So, oops. One thing I do have to get used to is just make sure I get the angle of the camera right, or using a little joystick on this camera. Okay. The jewelry, nothing really that I spot, but we'll do a little deep dive later. Okay. Let's come over to this way. All right. Anything over here, maybe in the wallets? Not really spot anything. There's like a Stanford hat there. Not seeing it here. Okay. All right. We're gonna head up to the main area and see what we can find over there. The main floor. Oh, the toy aisle is completely empty right now. This is almost unheard of at this point in the trip. Actually got some action figures right here. Bucky, or the Winter Soldier guy, and from the last Thor movie. Forgot his name. The God Killer guy. That's who he is. There's like toys in here. They're worth it. Maybe some Legos. I'm not seeing much here yet. Cart is still empty. What's this? Look at this. Giant cactus like body pillow. We have been pulling out some great plush at another Goodwill, a smaller Goodwill. I must say I haven't really seen much here at this one. The music's pretty loud here. Is this thing? No. It's got little squirrels in it. It smells kind of cheap is the problem with it. We're in the miscellaneous kind of, just miscellaneous area, basically. Just the random stuff that doesn't really find a home anywhere else kind of ends up here. But what do we have down here? What do we have? Oh, we have a Tony's.
This exact one sells for
Woohoo!
160.
160. Is it the? Oh, it's the Elsa. This is brand new sealed right here, guys. Definitely look out for these. I think the one you really want to look out for is the Let me show you what this looks like here. Here it is. There it is. There you go. Little electronic toy. Okay. That was probably over in the Target area, which I'm gonna walk over to right now. Actually, you know what? We're gonna check out the keyboards first, and then it's like some sort of motor of some kind. Okay, let's get on down here. I need to go check the keyboards. Here we go. These ones are pretty cool, not for... Let's see here. Again, I'm operating with one hand now, with them holding the camera. No dongle, see? It would go right there. But you definitely need a dongle for this one, but these are pretty handy just, you know, around the house. Oh, look at it. That's interesting. That's actually a decent old Mac. Actually, not a bad price. Let me listen to the clicker here. Still a good clicker. And actually, my son was asking for a wireless. He has a Mac, and he was asking for a new, well, just an updated mouse, and I find them all the time. So I found one now. Actually, I typically find them at the flea market. Its pricing isn't bad. This is the 1217B2, which I haven't seen. Or I'm not familiar much with this style of usually the horizontal ones. I'll look this up. At $4. Interesting. The price tag, we'll look at that later. There's a full-size Apple keyboard back here. I buy these all the time. The guy I typically buy them from at the flea market, $16. Yeah, we can't pay that. The guy I typically buy them from at the flea market, I usually get them for around $2 each. And he gets them in bulk, so a way better deal. However, he hasn't been there. I think maybe with all the construction work going on. See, $16 there on that one. This is another full size, but look at missing a key though. You do have to check these out. The very easy web application you can use. Just type in like keyboard tester, plug in your keyboard, and it has like a little on-screen keyboard that you can just, these little remotes here. Look these little remotes up. Little on-screen tester you can use just to make sure that all the keys activate. Look at this Shark Pro. That looks like an N64 controller. N64, yeah. Some of these, it's not the official brand, but Some of them can be okay. Can be okay, like the off-brands. Bowers and Wink. Oh, that cord's cut. Look at right there. That cord's like coming apart there. Sort of blood pressure. Okay, let's move down the line here. You know where there might be something here? It's on this side. Definitely an older piece, but nah. Bows. Okay. I'm not seeing. Wait, what's this little? Oh man. No. I thought maybe that was a jelly cat, but it was not. And it's all dirty. Okay. What is this? Dave and Buster's roulette table. Poor guy's missing his lower jaw there. That's messed up. Okay, what do we got? We're looking for, hopefully, random computer components. These are, these are useful, but not really worth it because Amazon. I might just look it up. Just a little switch. Oh, this is power over internet. That's kind of cool. So PoE stands for power over internet. So this will basically allow you to plug in devices that can get power over just the internet cord. That actually might be worth it for $8.39. I thought it was just a plain old switch, so if it was a plain old switch, I'd leave it behind, but because it has that PoE on it. Okay, I'm seeing something right over here to the left. See this Unify right here? Where's my hand at? There, here, Unify. That is telling me that's probably an Ubiquity. Bonnie and Linda office. We have an Ubiquity AP or access point, wireless access point to be more exact. They're not, I mean, brand new, they're about $100. Used, I'm not sure what these go for used anymore, but as you can see, it's been used. Now this would be what you would use a PoE over, because this doesn't have a standard power cord. All it has is that internet. Try not to let that slide. Okay, let's do that. We'll do that. I'll look it up because I have not looked these up recently. I mean, it's just a wireless access point. It's not anything crazy valuable. Like I said, brand new, they go for right around $100-ish. So the used market, these are kind of like a dime a dozen. These right here, back in the camera. I have a whole bunch of those. Not that actual brand, but Dell ones. They're right around $20-ish or so. That's what they'll sell for. Back when computers were first, or when they were starting to phase out the, CD-ROM drives, those things sold like hotcakes. was wild. Because everybody still needed them. And a lot of computer companies, I think Apple led the charge with leaving them off a lot of laptops. All right, I'm going to circle around. I'm going to check out the sporting good area, which typically has the loudest music here at this one. And I'll be right back. However, before I head over there, these little desk lamps can do really well. The problem is the shipping. This is glass up here. You have to disassemble the whole thing. This is fairly older, so it'll still do around the $50-ish range. It's 709. Actually, isn't. I mean, they're not that difficult to ship. I mean, I can get that out of here pretty easily. I might pick that up. It's a good price for $7. It should be a $50 lamp is what it should be. Okay, now I'll be right back. Okay, we're out of the sporting goods section, and I really didn't find anything there. And now we're moving on to the wood, some, kitchen metal products, plastics. Let's get that off the ceiling there. That was up in the ceiling. There's that crazy, pepper mill. Let's say made in Italy. There used to be a restaurant here in San Jose called the Pepper Mill, and they usually had these crazy, large pepper mills. They would put pepper on your stuff for. I don't know. I've tried to sell pepper mills in the past, and they do sell, just they'll sit forever. Let's see what's in this here. Come on. That was nothing. It's like a tiny little bamboo steamer thing. What was that? Sugar La Table. I've sold that brand before, but I wonder how many people are looking for a little steamer. Kind of cool, like a little personal size. Basically, would put this on a water pan, a pan with water, and then put it there, and it would steam it. You have to make them like little dumplings or something. It's not a bad price at $4. A lot of $4.89 items. Real quick, I did look this guy up here, and it should sell for about $30. So, one thing I didn't realize, and I thought, see how it says 100? Generally, you want to look for 1,000 MBS or 1 gigabit, but it should still do pretty well. It's brand new sealed. I did look up I did look this guy up here, and that should go for about $60. This is a newer model. That's why. So that's pretty cool. I still need to look up the remote controls. Those Kenwood ones. The N64 controller, we're going to put that back. That doesn't really go for anything. Okay. Any Stanleys over here? Has that market died out? Or dried out, I should say. Alright, let's go check out the next aisle. Let's go check out the Target aisle. However, on our way there, we're going to look at the mugs. I'm looking for Deneen for my own collection. If there's anything that's worth selling, maybe. Really, I'm looking for my own collection when I stop here, because there's not really much profit in mugs. It's pretty rare, actually. Definitely want to look up those. This is a local, really good breakfast spot here, Blackberry Diner. Really good spot if you want some good breakfast. Breakfast. My family says I don't pronounce breakfast correctly. You guys let me know. Yeah, if you see any Starbucks ones, definitely look them up. Usually the ones that are not within the U.S. do pretty well. Oh, and then look for those Pete's ones, Pete's coffee mugs. They also have a, like, what's where you're at, location style. I think the Berkeley one was the big one. I think it's sold for around $40-ish though for the Berkeley. I don't think Pete's is international. I don't know if they still make them. All right, we made our way over here to the Target. That's a Beanie Baby. There's a Beanie Baby over here. Wow, it has a pretty aggressive tag. Keeper. A cup of noodles. This is actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this was ripped off of Hello Kitty. There's a Hello Kitty plush that this would actually be attached to, but it's been taken off that plush. It's up here, yeah. Okay, then from here, oh, it's an Anthropology mug right there. These can be okay. I mean, Anthropology definitely isn't what it was, because I think everybody's picking it up and trying to sell it. But I haven't looked up these honeycomb. I don't think I have any more of these. Let me see. Yeah, we're gonna stay away from that. They're not doing that well. But I can spot this there. Here's a Lego set. Spider-Man. I really don't like these. I really don't like these sets with these giant size figures. I've never been a fan of these ones specifically, like the actual build it, and it looks like the minifigures. Those ones I do like, but those are there aren't many of those. But those like Technic builds where you build out a character and has like some wonky legs. $15 coffee grinder. A coffee grinder is about a dime a dozen. I wouldn't mess with them. I do buy coffee grinders, or I used to buy coffee grinders every so often because I would want to make my own, or grind my own, I should say. But then I'm like, you know what? It's too much work, too loud, first thing in the morning. I'm just gonna buy ground and I go back and forth. Miscellaneous pottery, glass.
Get them? Huh? Get them? The yellow ones, yeah. I don't know about the other ones. I gotta look them up.
I think a new cart came out and everybody's gravitating that way. The pull, the gravitational force of a brand new Goodwill cart. Little milk creamer. That's fairly modern. All right, let's see what else we can find. I guess I'm gonna go check out the cart too. Okay, we're back now. We're back. Is it on my face? Okay. All right, so we got these string lights right here. I can't find any comps on it, but I do think they can do pretty well at $6.39. I think that probably sells at $20 a piece, maybe a little bit more. We'll see. I found this right here. It should sell for $50 right here. Lego Mine. What is it? Oh, Vision Command Mindstorms. I guess you build like a little camera out of Lego, and $8.89 on that. But the big one today, and let me flip the camera around. There we go. Is this Dymo? I can never pronounce it right. Label writer. It's going to be 16. You see the price back there? I mean, just the camera. $16.69 on that one, and that should be over $100. Probably about $120-ish or so is what we're looking at for that writer, label writer. So the cart did prove to be pretty well. Let's go for my shoe resellers out there. Let's go take a look at the shoes and see what's going on. One of the other local resellers that does do a lot of shoes, he hasn't been here last few weekends actually, so not sure what's going on there. Okay, let's head over there. All right, so we're all set to go. I was in the shoe aisle, but there was another reseller in there kind of using it as a space to look stuff up and take pictures, so I didn't want to walk in there and interrupt that process, so I'm back here in the toy aisle, just putting stuff back really quick, still taking a look at the different items here as we're about to leave, so we're all set to go. A couple items don't have price tags, so I hope they can price at the front, but we'll see. Otherwise, that's it for this trip. Hey everybody, welcome to the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed that trip over to the Goodwill. If you guys are here for the entertainment, I hope I'm doing a good job, providing you entertainment with, my videos, with my trips over to Goodwill, sourcing, shopping, looking for items, looking for cool items. If you're for reselling, I hope I'm, providing, some great content for you guys, some, tips, things to look out for. It's going to be different no matter, depending on where you're at in the country or world for that matter, what you're able to source, what you're able to find. You're not necessarily going to be able to find the same items that I find at, my Goodwills and or flea markets, places I source at. But, some stuff you will definitely be able to find. I've found other items, like people have found, watch people that source over in, the Carolinas or, Florida, of course, a lot of people in Florida. And I have found some of that same stuff, where I'm at. So I'm hoping that by putting it out there, maybe you guys will hopefully see the video, see what I'm picking up, and you can find it too. And hopefully try to resell it. And I hope I'm offering, valuable content for you guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed the new, new little camera angle there. Definitely trying to mix it up a bit, trying to get, just improve my videos, improve, what I'm doing, improve my eBay business, selling, all that. Always striving to get better. Let's see. I'm trying to come up with a topic to talk about this, during this video. And usually I get most of my topics just from other resellers that I watch out there in YouTube land, because I do watch a lot. I like to keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening in the world of reselling, selling in general, e-commerce in general. I worked at the hospital this past Monday. My one day. So I'm on call. So you would think I'm on call, I can just work whatever I want. However, if I don't put in at least one day, they can kind of force me to work whatever. So, I got to get that one day in just to kind of keep my on-call, my status the way, just kind of keep my my routine the same. And also maintain my on-call status as well, too. But, I just kind of keep it around. I was talking with a friend of mine the other day. We went out to eat, and I just told him, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen in the world. That we just got through, a pandemic. Things were shut down. So I want to keep my options open. That's why I still maintain my on-call status at the hospital. I used to work full-time there. I loved it, enjoyed it. And then, that enjoyment, kind of was fading out, and it definitely faded. And I've always had eBay in the background. It's always been a thing. I've always been buying and selling on there. And so I just, decided to kick it in high gear. And I've talked about this in the previous video, but I was just thinking about it again because, man, it was a rough day there at the hospital. I was like, man, it was, Mondays are some of the worst days at hospitals to work. I could work another day. It doesn't have to be just Mondays. However, part of it is kind of get it done, and then, rest of the week, I don't have to worry really about it. And the other thing too is also, Mondays are the busiest, so that's when they need my help the most. And I just like to help out, and that's why I join a little whiskey here, a dram, if you want to call it that as well too. That is Scottish, I believe, for like a drink of whiskey. But what do we have? We're having Elijah Craig. I get my I buy most of my whiskey from Costco. Our Costco gets amazing whiskey, and but some of the best. I go to Total Wine every once in a while, but our Costco just gets amazing whiskeys. And some of the major brands, like Elijah Craig, Jameson, Irish whiskey, Johnny Walker's, they get it in the extra large sizes, so you have 1.75 liters. And that's what I buy to fill up my decanters with. I'll usually have a bourbon, a bourbon whiskey, a Scotch whiskey, an Irish whiskey, some sort of heavily smoked whiskey. Right now I have a Lefroy, which is a heavily, a peat smoke whiskey. So just keep a little variety in my decanters that I pretty much drink regularly. I mean, I regularly, like every couple, 2 or 3 days. It's really for me, it's an experience. It's to get all the flavors, and sometimes I just don't just don't go shot like shots, but it's really more the enjoyment, to sit down and relax, or make a video and relax too. It's relaxing. I feel like I'm really, I don't know, it's kind of relaxing, just getting all my thoughts out and putting them out there for you guys. But Elijah Craig, it's a great one. Bourbon whiskey, American whiskey American bourbons just have a lot of punch. Hold on one second. All right, someone was at the door there. But American whiskey just have big flavors, big punch. There's heat, that from the alcohol. There's definitely some heat there, so like the burn, as you say. However, big, just cherry right off the bat. You got cherry, vanilla. It's just really, I can go on and on about whiskey. This isn't a whiskey channel, but I can go on and on and on. But if you guys are, this evening watching this video or relaxing, and your whiskey, you definitely enjoy yourself a pour if you do partake. I've already done my listings and everything for the day. Generally, I do anywhere between 10 to 15 listings. It really depends on how I feel. And that's the whole name of the game. For me, is just, the flexibility to be able to almost kind of do what you want with it. Sales are great. Sales have been going great so far. Or not so far, but kind of on par to last year. So we're kind of hitting last year's level. Still a little, inconsistent as far as last year. Last year was consistently right around 15, actually more than 15. We were still listing between 10 to 15 items a day, and we were hitting, 15, 16, 17, items sold in a day. A few 20 days, which was pretty good. And so far, the year's been off. It hasn't been consistent. But as of late, we've been hitting that mark, and beyond that mark as well too. So definitely looking like last year, and we definitely our goal this year is to really get above that, to start hitting 20 or more. And I know it's going to take more listings, more items to list, but I'm really strategic in what we what we buy and what we list. You know, really just trying to be what do you call it? For lack of a better word, surgical with this. You know, precision, making precision strikes, getting the right items. You know, that sell well, that should fit our profit margin. You know, should fit our fit our profit goals. You know, we try to make at least $15 on each item, but obviously that changes. You know, if I can get a big old bundle of items, that kind of changes there too. So, items that just sell well on eBay, and we did pretty good at it. Yeah, last week we had so many orders. Last week it was wild. This week we're doing well as well. Not like last week. We're a little bit lower this week, but still we got some great items going out. And I'm going to show you some items too, and I'm going to show you a breakdown. The Dymo label maker we found in this video sold within 24 hours, and that was a great profit margin. But I want to show you guys the actual breakdown. I've showed you that before on one item. I'm going to show you in this one as well too, because you're going to hear people spit out numbers like, buy this for $5, I'm going to sell it for $50, or oh man, we just sold that for $200, and but there's costs associated with that, not just shipping costs. What I pay for boxes and stuff like that. It doesn't have my address on it, does it? No. When boxes or something, there's a cost associated with that, cost associated with all the packaging material you put in there. But there's the eBay fees as well too. So I definitely want to show you guys that. I'm going to give you a breakdown here in the what sold, which are going to come up right after this. Okay, we're on to the what sold section here. So we got three great items, and one of them is going to be the Dymo, which I'll do at the end, because I'm going to do the breakdown of what we actually shipped it for, how much it sold for, what's ultimately going to get deposited into the bank. So, but first and foremost, we're going to start with some clear glass. And I don't know if you guys have heard in my videos, or you heard me talk about when I go to the clear glass section how difficult it is, because it's challenging. Clear glass is not easy. A lot of it, maybe 98%, isn't worth it at all. But there's exceptions to every rule. And I always say this, there's exceptions to every single rule. Just like whiskey, everybody gets has a different take on it, and right now, very woodsy right now. At the beginning, when I first started drinking this evening, that is, cherry, just hit with a bunch of cherry, vanilla. I always get like cherry Coke out of a lot of bourbons. But now, as I've had time to sit for a while, I don't know, maybe my palate has changed since I've been drinking it a little bit. I'm getting very woodsy flavors out of this. Like campfire, camping, hiking, Lake Tahoe. See, a lot of stuff for me goes back to a memory. Goes back to where I've been. So, okay, continuing on with the video here. Miller Rogaska, I believe is how you pronounce it. So these wine glasses were there on the shelf. They were nice, great condition, brand new, practically brand new. I didn't sell them as brand new, but they were brand new. They did have the tag still on it, which made it easier to look up. The rim was lined with, I think, sterling silver. Now, it's not a lot of sterling silver. It's not really worth it if you're buying it for sterling silver, but I put silver, platinum in the title, just referencing the color. And they sold $43.13 is what they sold for. A set of 4, and I have another set of 4 as well too listed. These were $1.89 each at Goodwill. So a great find, and it's going to take a little bit to ship this. So $43.13. I keep saying 14 cents. I don't know why, or I keep wanting to say 14 cents, but it's 13 cents. Because glass, glass, you really got to be careful when you're shipping it out. Obviously, it's going to break, could break. These are double wrapped, each glass in bubble wrap, and then packaged with packaging paper. And I generally will use an oversized box for delicate glass items like this or other items. So I used a 12 by 10 by 10 box for this, which is perfect. They all fit in there nice and easy, and I was able to get enough packaging material in there to be able to prevent it from moving around. You don't want them clanking together, so you definitely want to separate them with bubble wrap or some sort of packaging. Bubble wrap is preferred in my opinion, and packaging paper, again, preferred in my opinion. I use that as the base to line the bottom of the box, then around the items to prevent them from, if they hit the sides, and then of course on top when you close the box. So it's all, there's packaging paper all the way around it to prevent it from moving around or hitting the edge, because those boxes are going to get thrown around, and if something's right up against the edge, it could hit it just the right way, and boom, you got a crack, or it could be completely shatter. I've seen that before as well too. So great item, definitely something to look out for if you're in the clear glass. Clear glass is tough. It's not easy. So these sold. Sometimes you find great stuff in the clear glass, which is why you always got to look at every single aisle, because you never know, and sometimes items can be misplaced. Okay. Next item is a brand to be on the lookout for, and I probably mentioned this before, but the Sports Sack, look out for it. Well known for their nylon bags. This is a triple zipper. I don't know if this triple zipper design is exclusive to them or not, but they do a lot of it. A lot of different patterns. They collab with other brands as well too. I've seen a Gwen Stefani one. I've seen Tokidoki. I've seen Disney. And obviously the collabs do better. But this is just a regular sports sack, floral pattern, $18. You can find these really, really cheap, and usually these smaller ones I find between $2 to $3 at Goodwill in the purse section. At the flea market, $1, usually $1, maybe $2 at the most for these tiny bags. But the sports sack, look out for the name. Great name to look out for, and this sold really quickly. Within a day of me listing it, it sold. So, okay, let's move on to the breakdown here. So this sold within a day of me listing it, and it is the Dymo Label Writer 4XL printer. So definitely look out for Dymos. They do incredibly well. The label printer, the label makers, or these style of label printers. Because the little handheld ones, those don't do that good. These ones do well. Make sure I have room for all this stuff over here. Okay, so here's the breakdown here. $171 is what it's sold for. We have $15.22 is the shipping that was charged to the buyer. $13.04 sales tax, for a grand total of $199.26. Now that's not what's going to get deposited. We got to subtract several things. First off, sales tax gets subtracted out of that. Second, transaction fees. So what eBay charges to sell the item. Now, I think there's, what is it, 30 or 40 cents transaction final value fee nowadays. Then there's I don't remember exactly what the percentage is. My percentage is obviously going to be lower, and I've talked about this before. I'm top rated plus, so my percentage is going to be lower. So you may see higher fees associated with your items if you are not top rated plus. So $22.55 is what they charged me. Shipping label. So this is the actual cost of the shipping label, and I put in there a higher weight to account for not just the box, packaging material, and the cost of that packaging material. So I kind of offset that by, or I kind of make a little extra. Well, I don't really make a little extra. My nose is kind of itchy. You can kind of scratch my eye really quick. That money, or that extra money that I make off the shipping is to help offset the cost of the packaging definitely $13.08 is ultimately what the label cost me. And then the ad fee. So this sold as a promoted listing. So we have the added $5.98, so basically $6 for the ad. So total earnings. So total, what gets deposited into my account? $144.61 on this item. So great cost. I mean, we picked it up for, what was that, $11? Like $12? Was it $12? Was it 12 or 16? I forget. I don't know if I showed it in the video or not. I don't remember now. But if you guys see in the video, you guys will actually know. It was either way. Let's just say the high end, $16. We still made some great money on that item. So what was it? Let's just say 144 minus $16. So $128 is ultimately what we made on that item after you subtract out your cost of goods. So that's a great profit in my opinion. Fantastic profit in my opinion. And you know, I'd love to do that every time if we could. But it's not realistic. It's not. You're not going out there pulling out what we say bolos. Be on the lookout for items that sell for incredible profit. It just doesn't happen all the time. You can't build a business around that. I see a lot of people just going around the flea markets, the Goodwills, everything, just looking for those, you know, those heavy hitting items. You know, those items that are going to sell like this. You're going to buy them for $16. They're going to sell for over $100. You know, there are people that go out there and actively look for these all the time and pick up nothing else. And I see them walk out of Goodwills. I see them leave flea markets with nothing in their hands. That's not a full-time reseller. It's not realistic. If you see people, you know, on videos being like, you know, bolo after bolo after bolo after bolo, they're selling small items as well too, or smaller profit items as well too. They're not just, if they're full-time, they're saying they're full-time, and they are full-time, they're not just selling all these $100 profit items. No, they're selling other items in between that, you know. I don't know, it could be, who knows what they get. It could be $5 items. It could be $10 items, $15, $20 items. The bread and butter. I was watching a Tech and Sports video the other day about clothing. Big-time clothing reseller. And you know, he's talking about bread and butter items. He's picking up a bunch of items, you know. Your Peter Millar, a bunch of used stuff. Peter Millar, Travis Matthews, Patagonia. These are like bread and butter in the clothing section. You know, these are just items that just move all the time. They aren't crazy profitable items, but they just move all the time, and that's how you're going to sustain everything. That's how you're going to sustain your reselling business, is by looking for these bread and butter items. There are going to be bolos. Don't let me discourage you from finding bolos. Don't let me because they're out there. They're out there. The more you are out there looking and sourcing items, you're going to find these big hits as well too. They're out there. They're everywhere. And take knowledge you've learned here on YouTube, wherever, your own personal knowledge. I find a lot of computer stuff. I find a lot of computer items that sell for a crazy good profit. But that's because I'm very familiar with computer stuff. I find internal components that sell for incredible profit. Those heatsink graphics cards, those are going to sell for hopefully over $200 each. Those are going to be great profit. You know, and I'm using my knowledge of computers, my knowledge of computer gaming to know that I can pick those up and make good money on them. So, all right, that's it for me. And I'm talking from me. Hit the thumbs up button to like the video. Subscribe down below. Hit the bell notification. What's today? No. I already forgot what day it was. That's how crazy it was. But Thursday, this coming Thursday, don't forget there will be a live show from the flea market. We walk the flea market. We check stuff out. We do buy stuff. Difficult. It's difficult to do a live show and actively, you know, buy. Because I'm constantly, you know, worrying about the feed. And I wasn't paying attention the other day, or last Thursday, and it kind of cut out early. I was like, no, the internet cut out, so I wasn't, you know, I was like, oh, well, it just ended, and that was it. So I really got to pay more attention to the feed, and you know, my whole purpose for doing the live show is to share the flea market with you guys, see what I see, and hopefully pick up some great items. You know, great items here at the flea market. Not really for those videos. You know, I'm just looking for just great items to resell. You know, items that sell really well, and sharing the experience with you guys. But thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.
They can be a great people, Kal-El. They wish to be. They only lack the light to show the way.
Nope, that camera, that angle's way off. Let me adjust everything here. But we're at Goodwill, of course. For me, it's the second Goodwill of the day. And at one of our usual spots. Decided to go up the road a little bit. Today's Tuesday, which is senior day for most thrift stores around my area. So I'm working to try to, I don't even have my phone with me. I don't get back and get my phone from the car. But we're racing to try to avoid the rush of people. The last Goodwill I was at, there was starting to be a rush. So we're working our way up to the different Goodwills. And yeah, we'll see what we find. Let's get in there. We're looking to buy low, sell high. We're looking to resell on eBay primarily. And like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'm gonna grab my phone, then we're gonna get in there. Okay. We just weaved our way all the way through the clothes and the front. I looked at the glass, doesn't look very good. Starting off in the shoe section, which 13. I want to say those are a bit too common as far as Nikes go. What do we have here? Nike IDO. Not that fly. Oh, these are some Metcons. Which, actually, Metcons do pretty well. What's my camera focused on? Gotta make sure this camera is focused where it needs to be. Let me just start that. Some Hokas. These look really wide. Missing insoles. Don't know if I really want to deal with that. Some Brooks. Got some damage there on both of them right there on the heel. Some more Metcons. I have some Metcons actually right now that the only reason why I might have picked those up, but I have some Metcons that are sitting right now, same style. I'm not much of a shoe reseller either, so. But let's go look at the bins. There are bins here. Nope. Flip back around. Put that around. Okay. We're looking through the bins here, and what do we find? A Brighton bag. So we're going to put that in the cart. How much are we going to pay? $7? Not bad. It kind of has more of a, less sports sack look to it. Is there any more down there, I wonder? Not really seeing much else. Let me look over here. What is that? Nope. There are a couple of other carts over there, but it's a little I'm gonna pack the stuff on top that isn't really that great. Nothing really there. That is a melt glass pitcher. But we're going to stay away from it. Oh, look at this. You know we're going to pick that up for sure. And that's personal purchase, nothing that's really worth it. At least I don't think so. It really depends the location. Huh. What's the one for this thing? These $10. I will definitely have to think about that. I might try to scan it to see the brand, see what the pricing is going to be on that. It's probably melamine. Alright, let's go check out the aisles. Let's start here. We'll start in the trading Walmart overs. Okay. So over at another Goodwill I was at, I noticed some items that were Walmart exclusive stuff. And so it does look like they are getting Walmart items, which I wasn't 100% familiar that they actually, or I didn't know, I should say, that they did that. I know Target for sure, but I did not know Walmart. And I've heard like Macy's, local department stores, Coast Pottery, California. I'm wondering if the chip, not a chip in the glaze. I think I'm gonna leave it. Well, how much? I think I'm gonna leave it. I don't think it really goes for that much. And I'm not sure if it came with a lid or not. So I'm just thinking of scanning it, but it's got a shape to it where the box it would need would be kind of unique. It's cool, but probably had something there in the middle. Oh, look at this. Yeah. That lava lamp is missing the top to it, so you really want to have those complete. Okay, what do we got? We got the pens. Pop figures, which aren't really that great anymore. Oh, there's like an old, probably coming from all this old wood over here. Like just like an old home smell coming from over here. Like an old smoker's home. I can smell it. Maybe in some of this wood. Which then leads me to believe that perhaps there might be other items donated that might have a smoke smell, so I'm going to have to keep my nose out for that. I was going to say I might keep my eye out, but I'm not going to be able to see it. All right, check out the other aisle. Now, I did spot that Deneen mug. We already picked it up. I'm wondering if there's any more floating around that I can add to my collection. But no, I don't see any more. We don't mess with plates at all. Well, I shouldn't say at all. Just exceptions to every rule, like I always say. And most of it's because of the shipping of these things. Mostly due to the shipping, especially larger plates, and just the diameter really throws off the boxes that I purchased. The boxes that I purchased to ship items out in. Then I would need to hopefully have a unique size that I saved. It never fails. I'll find a good plate and I just won't have a box for it. Some frosted like glass balls here. Nada there. Nada. What we got here? What do we got here? Tripped up. One of the instant cameras right here. Look at this. Ooh, $16. We'll go put it in its right place. Okay, I just realized I forgot to put this back, but I picked this up, saw this over there. It's not. I'm not gonna buy it because it's $4.89. But generally, these sell for right around $10. Guitar, it says right there, guitar foot. So, I mean, if you can get it for like a buck or two, it does sell pretty well. I've sold them before really well. You just can't pay too much for them. They just do not go for that much at all. But they are desirable. Just not for me, not at $4. I think I heard another cart rolling out, so we might go check that out really quick. I am back in the metal section because it's starting to get crowded around here. All those seniors are making their way. So, all right, let's go check out this clear glass over here. Okay, here we are. I'm gonna go through the bins, and if I find anything, I'll show you guys what I find. Okay, I just realized I forgot to do the miscellaneous toy aisle. Miscellaneous and toy aisle is what I meant to say. There's a little scarecrow, a bat. Really looking pretty cleared out today, which is a typical day when they shuffle all this stuff out, and I'm assuming move them all along to the bins or the outlets. Stuff that's been sitting around, so I'm assuming, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe they go by, like, you know, that's probably one of the reasons why they have the dates on the stickers. They kind of determine what's been sitting here forever, what hasn't. There's something pretty creepy up here. Oh, whoa. The heck? Victorian trading. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be worth anything. But we're not really finding too much out today. A baby? I thought it was a tie. It's a tie, but it doesn't have the beans in it. It's weird. Just kind of showing you guys what technically I guess bare shelves would look like for me here, and you know, at the Goodwills that I frequent. This is pretty bare in my opinion, but my opinion is just based on, you know, my experience here. That is not an N64 controller. I mean, it's an N64 controller, but it's not a branded. Okay, so I think we're gonna head on out of here. We're not really finding too much. I'm gonna go look at the glass again, because I didn't really get a good look at the jewelry, and I definitely want to take a look at that. I have found some great watches before, And if there's, I'll take you guys up there. We'll look at it. Obviously, if I see anything along the way, as I'm walking up that direction, I'll definitely pop it back on or turn the camera back on. But I think we're definitely going to take the Deneen mug. You guys know I collect these Deneen mugs. We're taking that. We got that Brighton purse. And you know what? I forgot to look this up. What's it called? Like macrame? I always forget the name. I can never pronounce it properly. Oh, but I'm looking at a little model set right here. Check this out. I don't think... Oh my goodness. That doesn't sound good. But this one, $11. These Revel ones, aren't really that good. I mean, it's an F15. I'm gonna leave it behind. I really don't feel like going through it and trying to determine if all the pieces are there either. So, all right, let's start to head towards the front. I'm gonna take a second look at the jewelry. We'll see what's in there. But this is looking kind of old-ish. What is this man? It's kind of like a DIY Christmas tree thing. Yeah, we'll leave that behind. All right, let's work our way out to the front. Like I said, it's Senior Tuesday. They are making their way out to the other thrift stores. Sounds kind of quiet though out there. I'm kind of hidden right now in this. So I don't really hear too much activity right now, but let's see what's going on. I might show you some clothes. We'll see. Okay, something I wanted to warn you guys about. You might see people pick these up a lot, but they're not. This is an ice bucket. There it is. Ice buckets do not sell well at all. Don't get caught in the trap of picking up ice buckets. You'll see people be like, "Oh, pick up ice buckets." George's Beyond is one of the popular ones. Got like a retro feel to it. It takes forever to sell. You're gonna have to discount it. In my opinion, don't do ice buckets at all. I completely stay away from them. The type of box you're gonna need is awkward too. However, I do recommend picking up coffee pots. I do sell these all the time. This is interesting. I just spotted this. Okay, give me a sec here. Okay, I just saw this coffee pot, and I just saw the price right now, so we're definitely not going to pick it up, because it'll probably only go for about $30 to $40. I don't really want to go through the hassle of cleaning and boxing it, but the ones I find have a glass lid on them. I'm not finding ones with an actual aluminum lid, so kind of odd, but we'll stay away from that. Look at, and up here is another ice bucket. Stay away from ice bucket. That's not an ice bucket, but stay away from ice buckets. Trust me. Okay, let's continue the trip up to the front. All right, as we were about to walk out, I saw this right here. This is a wine bottle holder. Skeleton hands, obviously for Halloween. We'll just open it out. It is ceramic, I think. However, it should sell for around $40, so we're definitely gonna pick that up for $9.39. So I just saw it at the end. It was actually tucked away behind something. So keep looking around. Keep your eyes moving. You never know what you're gonna see, especially as you're walking out. Where's this over here? Okay. Just note, I saw this earlier, but I didn't really give it a good look. Oh, they want $22 for it, so. Not for $22. Now let's keep moving. Okay, I'm over in the clothing section, which you guys know I do not do clothing, but I found this UCD, which is University of Davis, California, a university in California, up north, but made in the USA JanSport long sleeve. This is super niche, but I think it's worth it for that price. And then look what we have here. We have a lamb's wool, Eddie Bauer. It looks vintage, well made in the USA. Oh, sorry. We have $9.19 on that. It just felt great quality when I touched it, so I might. Here's a V-neck sweater. It's a lightweight sweater, so it still might do well. I'm gonna check it out just a little bit further, just make sure there's no holes or anything in it. I'm gonna look to see what I can potentially price it at. Everything else here looks pretty generic. I was watching Tech and Sports video the other day. I mean, I pretty much watch his channel pretty regularly, and you know, when it comes to clothing, that's really where you want to look, you want to watch. Okay, let me check these out really quick. Okay, so the Eddie Bauer is probably about $30-ish. It's a little bit of a high price to pay for it, but we don't pay sales tax here at Goodwill, so it's $9.19 is what's on the tag. So I think we're gonna get that just because clothing's so easy for me to list. I mean, I don't like it, and the reason why I don't like it is just because I don't like dealing with clothes. I don't like clothes, but it's easy to list. It's gonna take me, I don't know, maybe about a minute or two, the most, to get that up and listed really quick. And I just hang all my clothes, so I don't have a really much of a filing system. Like, I don't do that much clothes, so everything just gets hung up. Karen Scott, look out for Kendra. This is totally not according to clothes, but look out for Kendra Scott Jewelry. Kendra Scott Jewelry does incredibly well. She had a Barbie, it's inspired by the movie, a Barbie, like a, what do you call it, charm bracelet that sold for about, I think, $500 during the hype. Still goes for a few hundred if you can find it out there. I'm getting kind of hungry, guys. I need to get something to eat. I didn't eat any breakfast this morning, just coffee. Coffee and chia seeds is what's fueling me right now. But there's really nothing else here. As far as clothing goes, we still need to take a look at that jewelry. I haven't made it out there yet. Flea, that's a local high school. Kind of nice. And then the JanSport, I'm guessing it's going to be around 30-ish too, so, but it's super niche. I wouldn't recommend picking up UC Davis stuff to anybody out there because it's not a very well-known college. Mostly like, focused towards healthcare. 21. I was looking to wear this thing. It's too thick to sell right now. And I don't sell anything I really don't sell clothing that's very specific to certain seasons. So, like winter stuff, I try to stick to items that sell year around. Even though most items do sell year round, it's just that thick sweaters and winter wear tend to sell better towards winter. And lighter clothes, summer items sell better around summer, getting close to summer. So, all right, jewelry time. Okay, we're at the jewelry counter now, and look in the back of that brooch, seeing if it's anything that's signed here. Looks like some sort of compass thing back there. Tommy Hilfiger. Nothing there. You guys want to see the shoes they have up here? Nikes, of course, some Brooks. They've really changed up their whole little glass area here. It's really like a nice little nook they've created. But prices are going to be too high. Vans, okay, I think we're going to wrap up this trip. And Giants Majestic. Camera back over here. $9. It's the Mavens. Oh, I've never seen that name. Maven. Where? Swap. At first I was thinking Swahili. Interesting. Pretty well faded. I don't think it's really... Yeah. Alright. Well, let's head on out. Not bad. I mean, not too much. And flea market day is tomorrow, so that's where we'll pick up some good, good stuff for the store, bread and butter, and hopefully some big bolos as well too. Not really any big bolos. Maybe that wine bottle holder is pretty cool, but stay tuned for the recap. Hey everybody, welcome to the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed that trip over to Goodwill. Got some great items to list on eBay. That really cool skeleton hand wine bottle holder. Now, wine bottle holders like that don't really do that well. And I wouldn't recommend picking up probably 99% of them because they don't. You usually see those ones with animals, where they have the mouth kind of holding the lid, and they don't do well at all. This one does. It has a theme, and it's Halloween themed, and Halloween, Christmas always sell well, sell year around. This was actually Eek and Hide brand, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, was sold at Target. Some of these discontinued items that were sold at Target, Michael's, can do incredibly well, especially the holiday stuff. Speaking primarily towards the holiday items. I know at Target, some of those birds can do incredibly well. Usually find them for like $1 or $2. And they'll go for upwards of $15, $16. I've seen some of them go for $30 or $40. So definitely keep your eye out for those. Discontinued holiday items. I don't know about Walmart. I haven't really seen any Walmart branded stuff going, reselling very well, but Target and definitely Michael's. And then in the video, I pointed out the ice bucket. I'm here to tell you, do not pick up ice buckets. They do not sell well, and they do not sell, really with any velocity at all. I guess sell well will include velocity and price and all that. So don't pick up ice buckets. You're going to see people pick up ice buckets. Now, you're going to see people pick up a lot of items. And really what I know drives them to buy these items, you'll see people here on YouTube, is the fact that they've built up an audience. And that audience will come with some customers as well too. People that, like similar things that these people do. And the content creator, like me, will buy items that the audience and the customers within that audience will buy from them. So, and then they build up a history. Then they start building up a sales history. Like, okay, I remember the last time I found that, I bought it and it sold. So I'll go and pick it up again. I know I have a customer for that. And, so that's the mentality that's going on. And they've been building this up for years. It's taking a lot of work and effort. It takes a lot of work and effort to make videos, and build an audience. So it's taking a lot of work, a lot of time for them to do that. It's a form of advertising. They're advertising basically, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, if you guys are here, those of you that are on YouTube, trying to just learn about reselling. If you're for entertainment, I hope you know, I'm providing great entertainment for you guys, and nothing wrong with that either. Nothing wrong with, you know, we're all, you know, we all want to be entertained. If you guys are here to learn about reselling, you know, I would recommend staying away from a lot of items that you see people pick up. You'll see me pick up items too, and I'll try to explain, you know, the best I could as to why I'm picking up these items. I don't have much of an audience. I mean, I have a little over 3,000. I mean, that's something. That's pretty good. I don't know if I really have a, you know, any customer base or anything like that. Oh, by the way, speaking of customers, I am going to put my new email down below in the description. It's gemflipper35@gmail.com. You can find it down in the description. If there is anything in these videos that you guys are spotting that I'm picking up and you would like to purchase, send me an email down there and I'll send you a link which will allow you to purchase that item. So gemflipper35@gmail.com. Look for my email down below in the description. But now I know what it's going to sound. It's going to sound like I'm telling you these people are doing it wrong and I'm doing it right. Which is not really the case, because everybody has their own, you know, their own business, their own way of running things. They have an audience. They have customers. They're buying for their audience. They're buying for their customers. I don't really have, you know, like I said, I'm about a little over 3,000. Not really much in YouTube world, in YouTube land. A little bit of water there. So, you know, I'm still building up my audience. Will that translate to customers? You know, probably. But it's, and I've been doing this for well over 20 years. I buy items that sell on eBay. And that's one of the reasons why I also add in the what solds, especially the unusual items, you know, items you don't see every day. Yeah, everybody can tell you, you know, digital I just listed a bunch of digital cameras. You know, everybody can say, you know, just buy digital cameras. You know, those are, you know, kind of like in reselling world, everybody knows digital cameras still sell in the reselling world. People that don't resell probably won't really know. You know, they'll think digital cameras, you know, I have my phone, whatever. I don't need a digital camera. But if you're a reseller, you know, you've heard it. Cameras, old cameras, vintage cameras sell incredibly well. Everybody at the flea market knows that these things sell well. So that's why they charge more for, usually charge a lot for them. So, I want to bring you guys the interesting, the unique items. I'm going to show you guys the title structures of these items, because it's really, really about, in my opinion, window dressing these items. And we're selling online, so it's, you know, physical window dressings are what used to bring people into stores. One of my favorite movies, by the way, favorite movies is Mannequin. So look it up. It's a really great movie. It's from the 80s, I believe. And the guy was wanting to be a window dresser and came up with these amazing, you know, well, with the help of a woman who happened to be like a reincarnated spirit of a Egyptian queen. So, queen or princess? I kind of forget. I haven't seen it in a little while. But I do have it on my media server, so maybe I'll watch that tonight. But Mannequin. So and he wanted to be a window dresser. The whole love story going on there. But when the best way that we can window dress our items, picture on eBay, pictures and title. And also the title will help you. Will help the you know, the eBay algorithm really find the right buyer for you. So that's my goal, is to, my goal for me is, well, my goal when I'm out there sourcing is to find items that sell on eBay all the time. You know, I'm looking for items that are going to sell. And if it's something that's personal, like today I was at the flea market, I did my live show, I picked up some items, and again I was like, these are personal items for myself. And then I was talking about items I'm actually going to resell. So I would like to say that I'm always going to do that, is just always look for items that will sell on eBay, not to any customer base that I may or may not have built up here on this channel. So I mean, that's hopefully, going to stay that way. And some people, but it's not wrong to do it the other way either. It's not wrong to build up viewership, followers, and a customer base comes along with it. That's not wrong either. That's just another way of doing business. It's just, in my opinion, if you're here to teach people what to buy, some of the items like ice buckets you should not be buying, and maybe add a little disclaimer like, hey, don't buy this. I know people that can, I have customers that will buy this from me. So so I did have my meeting today with eBay and other seller leaders. I forget what we're called. Social leaders, social leader event people. But yeah, so we're going full steam ahead. We're going to have our first seller meetup for San Jose. Hopefully end of June is what I'm thinking. I have to set everything up. So I'm going to set it all up. I need to set up a venue as well too for that. And I have the perfect place in mind, which we've had events like birthday parties and stuff at. It's a nice open place. You just kind of go over there, reserve a table. You don't even really reserve a table. You can reserve a room, but you can reserve like a long bank. It's a huge place, and they have a restaurant. Well, primarily one restaurant, but they offer different kinds of food, and there's also a bar there too as well. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, probably end of June or so. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on that. I need to finish setting it up, and obviously for eBay sellers, so there will be emails going out, signups, and that will be pretty cool to be able to meet more people that are local. I mean, I do know some people already that do sell on eBay, resell on eBay, and other platforms as well too. But it'd be cool just to meet more people, just from my area here. I know there's a lot more sellers here. So just from what I know or what I run into at the flea market. Trying to think what else, I try to, watch a lot of other reseller content on YouTube, just kind of keep my pulse on, what's going on out there. I do watch a lot of clothing resellers, even though I'm not a clothing reseller myself. So I'm really just trying to get a sense, because there's a lot of clothing resellers, and you can really get a good sense of what's going on out there with, in the e-commerce world when it comes to clothing people. Because there's so many clothing people that, they really have a good idea of what's happening as far as, how sales are going, how sales are, up or down for them. And I don't know. I think, well, I don't really care for clothes. I do think it's a good barometer for the overall e-commerce world or market. E-commerce, no, it's not really e-commerce world. And then I was watching a couple of channels, and one of them I do watch is Dixon Pickens, primarily just a clothing seller, and he was running a sale. He was doing like a $2 sale on all his old stuff, and his sales have gone through the roof. So what does that tell me? People are looking for great deals out there. So if you want great sales, offer great deals. Not a lot of people can do that due to the buy cost of the items. Then I was watching ADH Dave's channel, which is he's based out of Florida, and he was talking about slow sales. Been talking about slow sales for a little while in several videos, and then as of late, he goes, sales have picked up. And what did he do differently? Well, during the time of slow sales, he wasn't listing, and now that he's having good sales, what was he doing? He was listing items. So, what does that tell me is that you got to constantly list. You got to price them, affordably, or, it just depends where you're at. I mean, obviously, if you're in the Apple iPhone market, what's a good deal? Like I sold that Dymo label printer, $171. That was a great deal. Clothing, maybe Dixon he marked this stuff down to like $2, so it's $2 the right price to get sales, and depending upon the brand as well too. So you really got to do your research, and eBay provides all the tools to do the appropriate research you need to price your items accordingly and get them sold as well too. So I know a lot of people are negative on eBay, but I'm here to tell you, that based on those two, it looks like more, if you price it right, it's going to sell. If you start listing, you're going to sell. I can't say that, the people that are having problems with eBay are wrong, because there's quite a few people that are saying that. And I can't say, all of them are wrong. It's just like, people that spot Bigfoot, You can't discount all the witnesses out there. They obviously saw something, but I don't have any of those problems. I don't experience any of those issues. I haven't seen a Bigfoot, by the way. Would like to. That'd be kind of cool. But I don't experience any of those issues. I think I mentioned this before. The last problem I had was a shipping label issue. That lasted maybe 10, 15 minutes or so, and it resolved itself. So I don't experience these problems that other people do. I don't know. But I can't discount everybody's claims. But yeah, that's all the talking points I wanted to bring up. Let's go ahead and get to the what's sold. And as you guys know, the what's sold will appear right over here. Let me get them up on my phone, and so I know what I'm talking about. Or remember what I'm talking about. And first things first, we have an Olympus voice recorder. So this is the Olympus Pro Recorder S7001 recorder hand. This sells incredibly fast, within 24 hours. And you definitely want to look out for these cassette tape ones. Do I have one of those little cassette tapes here? I might have gotten rid of it because I didn't know there was stuff on it, and I really didn't know. I didn't want to throw it in and accidentally sell it. But they take the little micro cassettes. Still, these old tech is still desirable. People still look for it and want it. $27 what it sold for. If I remember correctly, I got to the flea market and sold really, really quickly. Look out for these. Look out for the major brands. I would stay away from the off brands. But Olympus, Sony, Panasonic, Sanyo, I believe is how you pronounced it, isn't really that great. But these other ones do incredibly well. I sold like a tiny little square Sony one, which didn't even work for $60. Keep your eye out for these things. They sell incredibly well. Check the battery compartments on these. Make sure they're not corroded. And then make sure you have little cassettes to be able to test them out as well too. Okay, next item. 1845. This is a tumbler. Nuka-Cola. This is from the game Fallout, as well as from the TV series on Amazon, which was a really good series. Highly recommend it. Tumbler. So, Fallout is the name of the game. Nuka-Cola, obviously a play on Coca-Cola. They can't use Coca-Cola, so Nuka-Cola. And Fallout's a post-apocalyptic, post-nuclear war, nuclear winter type of game, and also TV show. So Nuka-Cola, I pick this up all the time. I pick up anything I see. Whenever I see Nuka-Cola, I pick it up and it sells. The glasses I've sold, checkerboard game it's sold, this tumbler sold. I don't think I have anything right now, but if you see Nuka-Cola, pick it up. It's not a mistake. It's not something weird. It's from a game. And Tumbler, Bethesda is the name of the actual developer of the game, which is why I threw it in there. But cool, unique item to be on the lookout for, and it does sell really well. $18.45. We're not getting rich here off to that one item. We're selling multiple items. We're selling a lot of items at a time. So all that adds up. It just adds up. Here's a pretty good item that sold, and this is a vintage Corona beer domino set. A set of 28. Came with a pack. Now, there are other types of Corona dominoes. You need to look out for these ones. In the picture, they have like a little, kind of like a ball bearing in the middle. look out for these. They're white and blue. $40 is what it's sold for. And I think I picked this up for, if I remember correctly, I think I was at the flea market, and initially the person told me $1, $1 or $2. I didn't have change on me, and so I asked him, and he said his mom was gone right now. He didn't have any change, so I was like, all right, I'll come back. Don't worry. I ended up going back, and I spent like $3. So I did pay up a little bit more, but not bad. You know, it's still, we made some great profit on this item. Like I showed you in the video, the last video, there is, you know, fees associated with selling this stuff, but we're still making great money on it. Look out for this. It was an easy shipper as well, too. Definitely a little bit on the heavier side. I think that was close to 3 pounds with all those dominoes together when I ended up shipping it out. But it still goes in the poly bag. Wrapped it up in about 2 times bubble wrap, poly bag. Boom, send it on its way. So some great, cool, unique items to be on the lookout for. Otherwise, hit the thumbs up button to like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification. We do a live show every Thursday at the flea markets. Definitely keep your eye out for that. Usually about 9 a.m. on that. Check out down below my other socials down below. Email address is down there. Gem, I gotta remember because I just set it up. Gemflipper35, gmail.com. Down below, send me an email if you guys are interested in anything that you see in these videos that hasn't sold yet. Don't look at the what sold. Look at the ones in the video. Send me an email. Let me know, and I'll send you a link to be able to buy. If it's still available, I'll send you a link to be able to purchase that item. Otherwise, we'll catch you in the next one.
They can be a great people, Kal-El, they wish to be. They only lack the light to show the way.
Hey everybody, welcome to the video and welcome to the channel. We're at Goodwill. We're back on the trail today. You know, it is Senior Tuesday, and I always talk about how I don't like Senior Tuesdays, but I've also talked about the route I believe that most of them take, and most of them start out at Savers, I believe, and then work their way out to the different Goodwills and or other thrift stores that do offer that discount. So my goal is to stay kind of ahead of them. I'm at one of my usual Goodwill spots, and then we'll work our way down the road to another Goodwill, and each Goodwill will be, you know, a separate video. So do look out for each of those. Hit the like button to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. But let's get in there and see what we can find. Okay, I've already went and scoped out the glass really quick, and not looking very good. This Goodwill doesn't really change over the glass that often, so we'll move down. We'll check out the purses here. Nothing really that great here that I can see. Or this little thing down here. No, that just feels. Yeah, no, it just feels cheap. Okay. A little cork thing right there. No. Nope. Let's go check electronics over here. They definitely moved. I think they moved some stuff around here. Keyboards. No mouse. Nothing really here. I have no clue what that is. The LED light thing. Okay. Yeah, we're not getting that. It feels a little cheap. There are some like Elgato key lights that do really well. If you ever see Elgato, definitely look it up. Oh, camera in there. This is a film camera, 35mm probably. Let's see. I might just look up the model. Just, you never know with these things. with these 35mm ones. Some of them do really well, some of them don't. But 35mm camera still does, regular film camera still does really well and can sell on eBay. Creative. This is a Bluetooth speaker. The Creative was a big name back in the day, back in the old, 90s, early 2000s computer era, early computer gaming era. They made sound card. They were pretty much focused on sound products. There's no price tag on it. I'll look it up. It's attached to a cord over here, but oh. There's a little power adapter here. I don't think this was the... No, there's the power adapter to this thing. It's not the power adapter to this, which you could use batteries, so I might take a look at it. Just, I don't know, this little, nostalgia about, computer, gaming computer stuff from back in the day. Oh, here we go. Look at this. The sound machine. $4. Oh, yeah. That's like $20, $25 easy, and it sells really fast. And these usually work almost all the time, so I'm actually down to one of those. I usually find them pretty regularly and list them and sell them. Bread and butter, as they call it. That's pretty much the only brand that I've seen. Let me just look. This is the only, let's show it on camera real quick. This is pretty much the only one I've seen that sells really well, that I can find, I should say. There have been other ones that I've found that just don't sell that good. What is this? Curious about this. Some sort of mounting something. I don't know what that is. There's a little drum and create some sound. There's so many of those like floating around on Amazon that I have no idea what's good, what's not good. I generally just go off feel, does it feel good quality or not? That definitely does not feel good quality. I mean, if it was like a major brand like Sony or what do you call it? Sony, all the Panasonic, I would take a second look at it, but it just looks like an off-brand. Kind of like a what do you call it? Labyrinth in here. Kind of cool. I might take a look at that. It's only $2.89. It just feels well made, which is why I'm taking it up. I'm going to take a look. I don't see anything here in the sporting good area. So, what is this? That's a bike trainer. That's a bike trainer. This is, oh, it's like a little, camera. It's like a little resistant band type of device. Curious. Okay, I'm going to pick that up, put it in the cart, so we'll see the price right now, too. Okay, so that's a Sunny Health and Fitness device is what it was. And it sells for around 30 bucks. They want 16 for it. So definitely not picking that up. What's going on here? Why is this thing is like all coming down at once here? Hold on. Oh. I think something fell on the other side. Okay. Let me take a look at that really quick. What is this here? What's a little Little men here. Look, all their hands are broken off though. What is this? Redhead Extreme Cold Weather Clothing System. Military fleece. Huh. That might be good. We'll look at that as well. And really, when I say I'm looking at it, I'm just looking to see really what the price is going to be. I'm picking up items that I know I can sell, but is there going to be a profit? Oh my goodness, check out this big old doll up here. That would be a beast to ship out. It looks like they definitely rearranged things here. Let me just quickly look at these bags really quick. That looks very old, very retro. Retro doesn't mean necessarily good. Okay, let me just quickly look over here. Okay, I'm not seeing anything else. Let's go check out the other aisle. Okay, I moved my way over to the wood section. A little crowded. Oops. Didn't want to, oops, made a mistake there. But just looking at that light right there. I think that was glass, that'd be kind of cool, but it's plastic. Oh. Indian type of theme. Wood in, sort of inlay in there. Now, look. Look at this knife block down there. Oh, orange. I think it'll go like this. No brand though. No brand on it. All these different state cutting board. That's pretty well used. I just remembered right now there's carts over here. I've got to remember that. I keep that in the back of my mind. Like coconut shells. Yeah, by nature. Coconut bowls. Pretty lightweight. This one here. I'm not sure what that one is. But at what are they? $2.89. This would definitely be something I would have to bundle up. Let me just see if coconut bowls, what they go for. Yeah, so definitely not. These were cheaper. At $3 each, we're looking $6. If I sell them a set of 2, it'd be $6. Probably go for about $15. I really probably want to sell a set of 4, and that would probably only go for about $20. So don't really want to go through the trouble. The profit margin isn't really where I would like it to be for that type of item. A bunch of chopsticks, pretty generic. Cards. Candle holder? It's ironwood. Are there any issues here? This was supposed to be an ear, and it was just painted over like that. Like there's an ear here, definitely an ear there. It looks like there should have been an ear here, but maybe they just sanded it. You really got to look at all these things when you're. Sometimes you might miss it. Might miss something like that. Because they definitely want one with an ear. 2 ears. Okay, let's go check out this end cap really quick. I'm going to go with this end cap, and then let me just... Oh, yeah, they are bringing out carts. I don't see anything here. Let's move on. Let's see. Nothing there. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna come over here and check out the mugs. The music is pretty loud. I'm hoping if I just keep talking, it'll not pick up the music and pick up my voice. The speaker's right overhead, but mugs, 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 mugs. And I don't think it was worth it. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next aisle. Okay, we're over here in like the large area. They have a lot of large furniture and stuff here. And I found this axolotl. Definitely look out for these. This creature goes for quite a bit. Well, not quite a bit, but maybe $20. However, there's some staining on it. Someone wrote on the tag, so we're gonna leave it behind. But leave that there. Definitely gonna put some of these items back right here. Let me show you. This leg on this is kind of broken, so we're gonna put that back. But that was something about $20. The creative speaker, I looked it up, only goes for $10. So we're gonna leave that behind. The camera here, again, only one sold for $5, and the rest are listed pretty low. So I'm not gonna bother with that. We're gonna pick that up for sure. This should be like $20, so we're definitely gonna pick that up. This here, what's the price on that? $11.89. So we're gonna leave that behind as well too, because the sold history on that is only around $15. So I thought maybe I'd go for a little bit more just because it is a brand new seal, but no. That is a Doxis 3.0, and definitely want to look for. Right, look. Where it says Doxis 3.0, you want to look for 3.1, and even if it's Doxis 3.0 brand new, still not worth the pickup. All right, I'm gonna go walk through really quick. Couple aisles that we missed. Okay, I mean, looks like Target's getting rid of all their Keurig stuff. This is the Target aisle. Some air fryers down here too. Pioneer Woman air fryer. I think that's from Walmart. I think Pioneer Woman exclusively at Walmart. I don't know. But coffee. Oh yeah. Okay, let's come up over here. Let's go to wallets. I think that'd be worth it.
Dude, what's up, man?
Oh, hey, what you doing, dude? Hey, how you going?
Good, my friend. How you been?
Oops, I started the camera. I didn't mean to start it because we're in an aisle we already looked at. It's just not really much else out there. I'm not really finding it, so we're moving on. We're gonna move on down the road to another Goodwill, and hopefully we can find something out there. And yeah, I'm bringing out much carts. We usually have like 2-3 carts out at a time. I don't know, I'm not seeing it. Otherwise, if I find anything else on the way out, I'll let you guys know. But we are gonna move. We're gonna move on down the road. Hey everybody, welcome to the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed that trip over to Goodwill. Good day, not a bad day over at the Goodwill. We found some good items to list, easy items to list, stuff that's, considered what we call bread and butter, just stuff that always moves consistently and profitably as well too. That's the key. It's profitable and it moves. We're not always selling bolos or be on the lookout for items, and typically those are your, you find it for $1 and it's $100, or you find it for 10, it sells for 100 or 200. My average selling price on items hovers between $35 to $40, right in that range. That's the average of what each individual item I sells for on eBay. And typically we sell everything within about 3 months. My average is under 3 months, like 2 months and like 3 weeks or something like that, somewhere right around there. Last time I calculated it. And actually at the end, or when I do my what's sold, I'm going to show you an item that I wouldn't recommend picking up, but it did sell eventually, but it took over a year to sell. So I'll show you guys at the end. But what I want to talk about, okay, I was watching a video, Tech and Sports was on the Trash to Cash. I'm a part of the Trash Cash. I'm now a part of the Trash Cash Patreon group, and jumped on there. I wanted to support those guys. I really like them. I enjoy their podcast. It's not so, it's a little more, because the whole reselling or selling online can be, kind of a grind. And, I watch a lot of selling content online, on YouTube. I read a lot about it. And, they're just more into the, they're more into the business and everything, but they also have fun with it as well, too. And that's what I like to do as well, is have fun with it. Not so grind. But either way, they were kind of interviewing Tech and Sports on their video, and he had mentioned about, there was a video not too long ago, which, the guy that made the video was kind of, insinuating there was some, maybe a little bit of, a miscommunication or a little bit of miscommunication between, or coming from content creators as far as, what you can find out there and making this job full time. Now, when we're making content, we have to edit these videos. Everybody edits videos, and so what do people want to see? They want to see all the pickups and all that. I try to do the least amount of editing because editing is kind of boring. I don't want to sit there and edit, so I try to edit my videos when I'm out and about. That's why you see me start and stop. Or I'm starting and stopping the videos. It's kind of like my version of editing. Yes, I go on the computer and do some more edits and stuff like that. But we edit the videos out, and it may seem like we're always picking, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. But not everybody's like that. It just so happens that I live in an area where there's a lot of items here that are worth reselling. But as you can see, even I pull out just a small, I talked about this, I pull out just a small fraction out of Goodwill's or the flea market, because that's all that's worth it, or that's all I'm willing to resell. Sometimes, or what I mean worth it too as well, it's not necessarily, talking about from a profitable standpoint. It's also, do I want to go through the hassle of shipping something huge and this big? And, I'd much rather ship something small, lightweight. I got all these action figures, so, I picked up all these action figures. I'd rather, ship this out. Instead of sending a big glass vase for $30, maybe I picked it up for $1, I'd rather ship this should sell for about $30. I'd rather sell this for $30. And, this is way easier to handle shipping-wise. So sometimes I will pass up items that may be profitable, maybe incredibly profitable, but do I want to go through the hassle of shipping it out? So, we don't, a lot of YouTube people that do this, they're in e-commerce, don't really show the whole picture. And the reason for that is the whole picture is boring. You're not going to see me come Tuesday. Yeah, it's a holiday weekend. This is coming out on Memorial Day. You're not going to see me pulling my hair out, because we're going to have close to 50 orders going out come Tuesday because it's a holiday week. You're not going to see me pulling my hair out trying to get all these orders packed up and get them over to the post office. You're not going to see the craziness of the post office that happens after a holiday. The post office after a holiday is madness. Let me tell you, it is madness. At least I can go to the back. I don't really have to deal with the front of the post office, because that gets even wild. If I have to go into, I mean, I've been into the post office before during these wild days. When sometimes I have to go in there and actually purchase a label. I've done that from time to time. Sometimes I have to go in there and do other business, or pick up, get some priority flat rate boxes or something. And it is crazy inside the post office. Mondays, Tuesdays, that kind of tapers off as the week goes on. But after a holiday, wild, people are mad, lines out the door. So you're not going to see all that. You're not going to see all that wildness, that it's going to take to get all these orders. What it's going to take to get the money in the bank, basically. I got to get the orders out. Otherwise, if I don't get the orders out, then I got angry customers, and then refunds have to happen. So you're not going to see all that craziness. Why? Well, first of all, it's going to be too crazy for me to video all that stuff, because I'm going to be running back and forth, getting things, bagging them. But that's going to just be super repetitive and boring for a video. You're not going to want to see that. Trust me. It's boring, and for me, it's kind of like the pain in the butt of the whole business. I like going out and picking up items. I like going out to the Goodwill. I like going out to flea markets. That's what I like doing, and that's why I make videos about it, because I like it and I enjoy it, and that's where I am the most. Or actually, that's not where I'm at the most. The most I'm here, at home base. Maybe you're researching items, creating listings, cleaning. And shipping's fairly quick. It's fairly quick, but it's incredibly tedious, It could be difficult for some people, depending on what they source, what type of items they have to ship out. Larger items take a lot more work, because you got to get in there safely. You don't want anything to break. So that's another thing you got to think about. So even though it may look easy on camera, everybody may be showing how easy it looks. Behind the camera, or when the camera gets turned off, it is not easy. It is not an easy job. It may look easy because of our experience at doing it. And we've built up this experience over many of us have built it up over many years. Some people are still, getting started, and maybe they are video vlogging their story, getting started. But I've been doing this for over 20 years. I know what to do to get the job done. I'm constantly learning, evolving. If I find items that aren't, as a matter of fact, hold on really quick. Case in point, as far as evolving and learning more. So these are Disney ears. These are from Disneyland. Not sure if they have them in Disney World or not. They might have them in Disney World, but I know them from Disneyland. Souvenirs, they would have them usually as the lights go out. The vendors, like the street vendors, they come out with their carts, and then they start selling to light up, toys and souvenirs and all that. This is also in the I've seen this over by at the end of Star Tours ride, where I forget the name of that souvenir shop, but it's at the end of Star Tours ride, and then you go into the shop and all that. They would have those there too, and they're just light up LED. See there, pretty cool. I've seen these there all the time. I don't really look out for these anymore. They may have discontinued them. I don't remember seeing them the last time I was in Disneyland, which was what was that, last year? End of last year. December of last year. When we were in Disneyland. I don't remember seeing these there again. So they may be discontinued. And the reason why I say that is because when I had looked these up, to see if they were worth it selling on eBay before, because I've seen them out. I've seen them at Goodwills. I've seen them at garage sale flea markets. And so when I looked them up, they weren't worth it. They were like maybe between $5 to $10. And generally, I think I picked this up actually at the flea market for $1. So, I don't know, this was $2 at the flea market. So I really want to pick them up, because generally they're priced around, you know, between $1 to $5, and they were only going to sell for maybe on the low end 5, maybe on the high end 10, probably meet in the middle around 7. So I would always leave them behind. However, I snapped these up. They were a great price. I was like, all right, I'll pick those up. Why not? I went ahead and, you know, I was listing these yesterday, if I remember correctly. I was getting these ready to list yesterday, cleaning them up, doing my research really quick to see what I should price it at. And lo and behold, these things sell for close to $40 now. And I was like, what? I was like, I was getting ready to price them out about $15. I was like, wait a second. $40? Seriously? So, like, all right. Next time I see them, I'm gonna be picking these up. These were actually incredibly common over at Disneyland. They had them all the time. So they must be discontinued, and so look out for them. These Star Wars, they're little light up ones. Death Star, TIE Fighters, and X-Wings on there. Really cool. They light up. They take a couple of batteries. I think they're the flat batteries, like coin style batteries. 2132 is the battery code that goes in there. It takes 2 of them. So really cool. Look out for it. One more thing I'm going to show you. I wasn't originally going to do this, but since I remembered those ears, I'm going to show you guys about, and talk to you guys about learning. One thing too, we're constantly learning. We're constantly learning new things. That's another thing that's going to make you better and, better at this. And also being able to spot those bolos as well too, is just learning more, knowing what's out there. And this is what I found. I found this lighter. I picked up this lighter, a hat, and a gaming mouse. The gaming mouse actually turned out to be worth like $80, which at first glance I thought it was like a $20 or $30 mouse, and then I got home, saw what the actual model was in the back, and I was like, oh, wait a second, this is a better mouse than what I actually thought. So I got the mouse, I got a hat, and I got this for $10. Now the hat should put us in the profit, because the hat's a vintage Toronto Blue Jays hat, which is right here. This should sell for right around $30, so great hat right there. It's the vintage one. It's not Sports Specialties. It's a American Needle. So, but that should sell for about $30. So that'll put us in the profit already. Then the gaming mouse should sell for around $80, which will push us even more into the profit. And then this lighter, which I picked it up, and I assumed it'd be right around $20-ish or so. However, the bottom, this is a Lunder. If you guys can see that, it's Lunder. I initially thought it was Linder with an I, but it's actually, the reason why I thought this, because I saw a little dot above it, but it's actually 2 dots. It's a U with 2 dots. It's German. And it's Lunder Standard. And so when I first looked it up, I was like, all right, I saw one for $20 it sold. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's about $20. Really cool little vintage lighter. I know I can sell it. But after I put in the details, and then eBay gave me a suggested price, and it's at $54. And I'm like, $54? Why is it giving me a suggested price of $54? So I did a little bit more research, and I realized, wait a second, that's a U. And when I did that, then the comps were around between $50 to $70 for these lighters. Some were a little bit lower, around $50, $30. They might have been, people might not have known what they were selling, or it might be more common lighters. But this one here, anywhere between $50 to $70. It might go for about $60, is what I'm guessing. I marked it at $75 because I priced it exactly at what someone else had it priced at. But I have best offer open, so I'm guessing it's probably going to go for around $60. But just keep your eye out. Look at that. Always learning new things. Lunder. First time I've ever seen it. If I see it again, I'm going to pick it up. Now I know to pick this up. These lighters are a bolo. Pretty cool. Okay. Enough of that. Let's look at what sold. Okay, let's do the what sold. We got 3 what sold. Some great items here. Great items that sold. And one, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. As you know, everything's going to appear right over here. First, we have a carnival glass. I believe it's a Fenton piece. I don't know why it's not in there. But either way, bicentennial carnival glass paperweight. It's just a giant, disc of glass. Iridescent. Celebrating the bicentennial. Really cool. I picked it up at a garage sale This was like a year and 3 months ago when I picked this up. It was $1, and typically, items like this I would have already gotten it out of my inventory and been gone already. Like I said in a previous video, when I'm going back through all my boxes and everything, all my inventory and every stuff, typically there'll be about 1 or 2 items still kind of lingering in there. Then we reevaluate and see, okay, is this, how was the listing set up? Do I need to change the pictures, retitle it, whatever, description, or is it just not sellable anymore? How do I feel about it? Is it a good item to sell? Do I think I can still sell it? And then we go over it. Sometimes, in this case, we keep it around. And I just kept it around. I kind of liked it. I was like, it's cool. It was very heavy. It's a very heavy piece of glass, solid glass. I mean, it's a thick. I didn't show the picture of how thick it is, but it's like this thick. I thought it was cool, so that's why I kept it around. And now it finally sold for $22.59. So you might think you turned $1 into $22.59. Well, a little bit less because of the fees and all that. But we turned let's just say we turned $1 into a $22.59 sale. So you think, great, that's pretty good profit. But it sat for well over a year. My advice would be not to pick it up, even for $1, even for 50 cents. This is just sitting around taking up space. If you need to keep turning over items, this is not something that's going to sell very fast, and I wouldn't advise anybody new to pick this up. If you're already, kind of well established and all that, and you don't mind having items stick around for a while, I would say, yeah, pick it up for about $1. And because I would say pick it up for $1, you might say, oh, if it's for $2 or $5, I can still make eventually $20 on it, but it's going to sit forever. So I'd rather have $1 sitting around forever than $5 sitting around forever. So it's kind of the way you got to think about it. So it eventually sold. I liked it. That's why I kept it around. So it sold. Not a bad sale. It took too long, but not a bad sale. Okay. Next thing. Now I pick these up every time I find them. These are metal coin change dispensers. One you would put on your belt. So you go, and then you would dispense your change. Quarters, nickels, dimes. From a long time ago. From maybe a better time in history. I don't know how you guys feel about that. But really cool, just a really cool vintage piece. These things sell all the time. This one sold for a little bit less, $21.77, and it wasn't in the best of shape, wasn't in the best condition. There was some rust on there in between the little the tubes. Definitely, the metal's been sitting outside for a while, so it was exposed to the elements. So not in the best of conditions. Better condition ones I've sold for between $30 to $40. So this one we definitely obviously took a little bit less, but still a great piece. And I pick these up all the time. They sell really, really fast if you price them right. Just look at what the comps are and price it accordingly, and it will sell quickly. And generally you can get these pretty cheap, anywhere between $1 to $5 is what I've seen them priced at. So they usually have some hooks in the back, which will hook onto your belt, so they're universal. Really cool. Look out for these change things. Sometimes they do have a brand, and sometimes they don't. The one I picked up before this was branded, and I forgot what brand it was. But that, it doesn't really matter. The brand necessarily won't sell these, more the condition. So, but even in this condition, even this kind of poor condition, it's still sold. They have springs. Make sure you keep an eye on the springs. They have a little, so when they dispense cash, there's a little, or change, there's a button you press, and there's a spring. It's spring loaded. So make sure the springs are in decent shape, or I should say working shape. So really cool. Okay. Another cool item is a hat. Now, hats generally, in my opinion, will sell on average around like $7 to $10 is what hats I'd say probably more like $7 is what hats typically would go for. And that's even decent hats. Now this one here is a little bit different. So $44.28 is what it sold for. This is a vintage hat. So vintage hats do tend to do better. And I would say, in my opinion, probably sell around the $10 to $15 range for, just traditional vintage style hats. What really matters is what's on the hat. This one here, a vintage hat from the World Series 1989. And this was Battle of the Bay, San Francisco Giants, Oakland A's. So when the Oakland A's, San Francisco Giants were in the World Series, I remember watching this on TV. And a very iconic World Series because it was played here in the Bay Area. And that was when the big earthquake, Loma Prieta, if I remember correctly, was the name of it. Loma Prieta earthquake hit. It was a big one. And I remember the Bay Bridge partially collapsing. There was damage throughout the Bay Area. Pretty significant earthquake, and of course the World Series was happening when the earthquake hit, so obviously they stopped the game and everybody saw it on TV. So just a very iconic World Series, iconic year, and of course two very popular teams from that era, the Oakland A's and the San Francisco Giants, were playing, and they were in the same state, so that was also kind of cool. Sold for $44. So definitely something to look out for if you see any vintage hats, with that on it. So pretty cool. Then I remember there was another hat that sold for $80. It was a New Era hat, vintage Expos. Was it vintage? I don't think it was even vintage, but it was an Expos hat. And the reason why I picked it up was because it was an Expos hat, which typically the Montreal Expos baseball team are no longer around. So their hats tend to go for a little bit more of a premium. Nothing crazy though, they still make them. They still make those hats. People can still get them. Like you go down to, go down to the mall, you can probably still get an Expos hat with the old, the old logo on it. And it should go. They can resell for around $20-ish or so, I would say, on average. But the one I had actually had a Japan All-Star game on the patch on the side, and because it had that patch on the side, it sold for $80-something, if I remember correctly, $85, I believe. It wasn't in the best of shape. If it was in better shape, it probably would have gone for $150, but it wasn't in the best shape. It was pretty the bill was pretty disfigured and pretty dirty, but it did have the patch still. If it didn't have the patch, $20. With the patch, like $80, over $100. Could have been over $100 if it was in good shape. Otherwise, that's it for the what's sold. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Please like the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell notification. We have probably a conflict this week with the live show. I'll post when I'm going to do the live. I haven't decided yet because my son's graduating this year, and his graduation is on Thursday, so I will not be going to the flea market on Thursday. So I'm debating whether or not to do a live show from the flea market on Wednesday or on Friday. I have not decided if I'm going to do that or not. I typically have regular videos come out on those days, and really wanted to stick to that live show on Thursdays, but I'll see. I'll let you guys know. I'll Tuesday is what I'll do, is I'll put out a just a notice after I'm done getting all my shipments out. I will put out a notice as to when the live show will be. Definitely won't be on Thursday, so look out for that notice. Otherwise, we'll catch you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.
They can be a great people, Kal-El, they wish to be. They only lack the light to show the way.
Hey everyone, we're doing a little something different with the intro. I'm actually going to go grab something to eat right now, but 54 orders are all going out today. This is over the course of 4 days though, so don't think I'm doing 54 orders every single day. This is over the course of 4 days because it was a holiday. I don't like to let my orders stack up. I would never let them get to this point. But because of the holiday, the post office is closed, so we're heading over there right now, and then I'm going to shoot my intro from a restaurant. Okay, so the whole plan was kind of foiled today. I was gonna go eat somewhere and kind of shoot my intro for this video, post Memorial Day video, but the place I was gonna go eat, which was Wiener Schnitzel, formerly known as Der Wiener Schnitzel, it was closed due to power outage. So, all right, but I'll do the intro here. We're walking into Goodwill right now. Second Goodwill of the day. I'm just gonna do 2 Goodwills today. A lot of orders to go out due to the holiday, Memorial Day holiday. 54 orders going out, and so that was, a lot of orders. I usually don't let them stack up to that kind of crazy, that amount for one run, but I had no choice because the post office was closed yesterday. So, and Memorial Day was the slowest of the 4 days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pretty typical. And then Monday, it was Memorial Day. People were out. People really weren't probably shopping. They're probably out at bar. Most people do on Memorial Day, when they celebrate, they go out, they barbecue, hang out with family. So typical not to be a very busy day. However, today is Tuesday. We're back at it again. Things look back to normal. Just dropped everything off at the post office. Already went to 1 Goodwill. We're still sourcing, and let's get in there and see what we can find to buy and sell on eBay. Hit the thumbs up to like the video, subscribe, and bell notification. Oh, by the way, live. I'm probably not going to do a live this week, but I'll post a little something on YouTube. Okay, we're here at Goodwill, day after the holiday. So I'm bumping this video up in the, like I said, I'm bumping this video up in the rotation here. Can't really read that. I'll put that in the cart, just take a look at it later. But just gotta show you guys here what is going on. Day after a holiday. Memorial Day holiday, that is. So, crazy amount of orders going out because the extra day, the post office is closed, so. Otherwise it would have been a 3-day, 3-day post office haul, but 4 days, so. But now we're here. Now, typically, though, so the sale, I don't know if your guys' Goodwill run the same sales or holiday sales, but usually everything will have been, it's normal in retail, everybody prices up to accommodate, for the sale. Those Easter baskets still haven't gone. They didn't go out the sale. But they'll price up in anticipation of customers getting a percentage off. Everybody does it. I think Kohl's, in my opinion, is one of the #1 offenders. And they do it all the time. If you ever walk into a Kohl's, you'll always see they have all the little black and white signs with how much. It'll say like Levi's, regularly $70, and they're $40 or $50. So you think you're getting a great deal, when in actuality, you're paying exactly what they want you to pay. It just plays on kind of like mind games, or kind of tricks people into thinking they're getting a good deal. It's everywhere. It's not unique to any particular store. Something over there I'm going to go take a look at in the toys. But I did stay away from the sale. I did not come out. Like I've said numerous times, I work at a hospital, and typically I work on Mondays. And hospital's 24/7, so there's no hospital's always open. So let's see, it's in that box already. I just did a little spin move in the aisle, glanced at the I'm glanced all the way over there at the rest of the. Nothing really looks exciting over there. Plus, things are usually fairly picked over, but they restock pretty quickly around here. Look at these. These are those. Like they're like little planet candle holders. They got the look of Glossy Baby, but they're not Glossy Baby. Curious as to what these were over here. Oh, jigsaw puzzle. Let's look at it. Nice and neat. That's what caught my eye, but no. Okay. Check this end cap since I'm over here. The red. Nothing really. So, this is a ginger jar. It's missing its lid. Some people may call this cloisonne, but it's not because they would have to be separated by gold. Usually it's gold. They would be separated, all the different pictures on here. Kind of like a paint by numbers type of thing, where they outline it and then they color it in. I just saw those in the video. I saw these in someone's video. I think Lamp Lady or Niche Lady, but I thought they were actual nesting dolls, but they're not. They're banks. Okay. Let's continue back here. I'm gonna be careful with this guy. I'll flip this upside down like that. That's interesting. Tabletop pool game. I just listed a craps game. Looks similar. Not quite. That's kind of cool. Where's this from? Wild Republic? That's kind of cool. Giant squid. Okay. The keyboard's the same. Lenovo ones are for rounds. Okay, I don't know here. What's this? Like some controllers, I think, for like a heated blanket. Have you seen any Sleep Number remotes? Those can go pretty good. I don't see any here. I've looked at that before. Pumpkin Masters. Pumpkin carving kit. No. Cassette recorders. Here's these Sony Dream machines. $10. Nah. I don't really think they go for that much anymore. They're surprisingly pretty popular for a while. They're pretty desirable for a while. Go. No. Chocolate maker. Chocolate maker? Like maybe like make candy apples or something? This appears. This oh, now it's kind of cheap. All right, let's see what else is here. Let's go check the other aisles. Wait, Microtech, no. No. All right, let's go check the other aisles. All right, I came over to the clear glass. They're definitely sorting. Tuesdays is pretty much the day when they kind of clear items out, clear the shelves, bring in new inventory. So that's what they're doing right now. We're going to take a look at the mugs, though. That's where the mugs are at. And so far, I got a couple of things. I don't know about the tiki mug. Don't know about the tiki mug. I'm not 100% sure on this giant squid, but we'll have eBay out, so it'll tell us, so let us know. Delft. Looks like Delft. It's not marked Delft, but Delft isn't worth it. So, okay. Okay. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, this might be Blue Mountain. Is it Blue Mountain? I always forget the name. Nope, it's JCPenney's. JCPenney Home Collection. Had the look of something similar, of a better brand. Blue Mountain, I believe. I never remember. It's Blue something. But it looked very similar to that. Thought that might have been it. Colors were a little off, but no. Okay, I'm back here at the glass. I'm gonna... let's go look at the purses. Okay, so we're over here in the kind of like bags and wallets and everything. This says Lucky Brand. Kind of nice frill. $12 though. Oh, what's up with that handle though? Does that handle go with it? That's a bit odd. I might just take a look at it. I mean, it's priced at, was that $12.59? I'm gonna look into that. Just 'cause it's got a Native American boho type of look to it. Might be a $40 piece, but I'll double check, see what they're selling for right now. The giant squid goes for about 15. We're gonna leave it behind because I have it priced at $4 something, $5. That's actually a Princess Cruise Line tiki mug, and that should go for about $20. So we'll pick that up. Also, too, in talking with Goodwill Management, they do actually hold good items for sale days. So when sale days are coming up, they'll start to hold back certain items that they would normally just be putting out. Partners made in, what did I say, China. So not only will they price items up in anticipation of a percentage off eventually, but they will also hold items back. Usually good items too. They'll usually hold good items just for the sale and then price them accordingly. So also too, I'm not anticipating finding too much because most, you have no idea. If thrift stores or Goodwills, I should say, aren't in your usual, I mean, if you guys don't have good Goodwills, or you don't do the Goodwills, they get jam-packed. They have lines. I did see some of my reseller friends post, there was big waits at the Goodwill for the flea market, for the sale. There was probably some good stuff here, but that's okay. That's okay, because I had plenty of stuff to list. I was able to stagger my 54 orders, over the course of the weekend, so I wasn't pulling my hair out so much. Come Monday, today, We Bare Bears. My kids loved the show when it first came out. Wee Bear Bears. But they sell this at there's like a store at the mall, and they just sell everything really cheap, so you can't really compete against that. Looks like another Lucky Brand style, or that style that I just picked up. Let me just get in here with my other hand really quick. Express, okay. All right, let's look at the purses. All right, there was someone there taking their break, but there was no purses to really talk about there, really look up. $6.39 for that van. It's a nice van tab, but that's not at that price. I have sold these before. It's just the problem is the unusual shipping box you need, because you don't want to bend it too much and break it, so it has to go in a box. And you don't want to pay too much for them. I picked up a bunch of them for $1, and I was able to sell quite a few of them. I still have a few laying around. Again, like I said, just shipping them out is the problem. Okay. Let's see what we got over here. Other side of the hats. What that is. We're definitely gonna go check out another Goodwill today, but it's just gonna be 2 Goodwills today. It's gonna be a busy. It's not a Detroit Tiger. It's got like a funky logo. It's not tiger. It's a lion, actually. All right, I'm not seeing anything really here. We've got Wheelworks. Got a Wolf Hat, Grandpa. No. Don't know what that is. Probably nothing. Okay. I'm gonna quickly look at the shoes over here, and we might wrap this one up here. All right, so I think I'm definitely gonna take that purse. I think it could be a $40 purse. So we're definitely gonna do that. I'm just spotting these up here, little Mayan little picture frames. They look like printouts that someone put in a little frame. That's kind of cool. But I think I can get about $40 for it. I'm not 100% sure because I can't find anything on it. It's gonna be $14, so I think I could do pretty well because of the style. This guy we're gonna leave behind. Wait a second, I just noticed it has 2 eyes. Don't squid only have 1 eye? That's weird. But we're gonna leave that behind. And yeah, we're gonna take the tiki mug and the purse and move on down the road. But this is, after a sale, things have, all the good stuff's already been picked over already, and either left behind if it was good, if it was bad, and picked up if it was good. So let's move down the road. We'll check out another Goodwill. In between, though, I'm gonna go get something to eat really quick, and Harry Potter lights, so they're kind of cool. How much are they? $5? Yeah, no. I'm gonna grab a bite to eat really quick, and then head to the next Goodwill. I'm actually gonna shoot my intro at the place I'm eating at. So let's go. Okay, just as I was dropping off that plush, I spotted this guy right here, and these do really well. They're Celestial Buddies. I have the whole solar system. $2.89. That's a definite pickup. Like $15 to $20, and they're very fast sellers too. So I'm wondering, are there any more down here? Are there any more? That's why you always got to double back over things, Certain things you miss. Well, it's kind of crazy. I have sold these. Not this one exactly, but I've sold these before. I don't know what the pterodactyl would go for. Oh, they didn't want $7 for it. Didn't go for that much. Yeah. Any more? I'm actually up here looking. There's just one. I think Pluto and Neptune were actually connected together, so those ones are attached to each other. see any more. See, giant dinosaur. No. No. Okay, I just saw the Earth. That's all I saw. Okay, well, not bad. That's cool. Make sure nothing's floating around anywhere else. All right, now we're heading out. Here we go. We're going into the glass right off the bat, and I see Harry Potter. That's a pretty cool set. Is that the older one? I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. I think they made one of that already. It's little classic pieces, which isn't that great. Not really seeing anything else in here right now, but we're gonna go check the floor. But I'm probably gonna. There goes the cart. The cart's like keeps moving. But I'm probably gonna grab that Harry Potter set. Okay, we're over in the electronic appliance area. We did pick up the Lego set. It was Harry Potter. I'm not really necessarily a big Harry Potter Lego set collector, but I do like to collect unusual characters. And I have that three-headed dog, which I don't, remember the name of what it's called. But I'm probably going to keep it. It was $23. And if we're going to resell it, it should go for about $70. So that's pretty good profit margin. And it's Lego, so Lego is incredibly popular. What do we got over here? This is a Nook. It's an older Nook. I have a Nook right now. I still need to look it up and do more research on it. The Sony DVD. I think that what this does is, yeah. So what you would do is you would plug in your camcorder into here. So as you can see right here, and it'll direct real-time recording from your camcorder. Okay, so you go to your camcorder, then you plug this out into somewhere else. Or no, direct quality, transfer. Oh, so it's a portable like DVD burner, recordable DVD drive. Not really worth it. I'll tell you that right now. How much? Question is how much do they want for it? And there's no power cord either. Not the biggest problem in the world, but yeah, it's not going to be worth it. They have Sony handy cams that will actually record to a DVD, a small DVD, a miniature one. Those don't do very good. All right, let's move on along here. Okay, I'm looking at the walls. I don't see anything really. Look at this. Holy moly, what's in there? There we go. Let's check all that. Purses, all kinds of stuff. From what I can see, I don't really see too much in there. That would make it worth it to jump in there, I guess. Okay, flip back up here. I'll tell you what, there are some carts on the move. I had some faux turquoise. I'm gonna go straight ahead and check out those wallets really quick. Okay, we're over here in the wood. I didn't see anything in the purses or wallets, I should say. And I kind of cut the camera because people were starting to crowd around me there. But this kind of ironwood dolphin, it's pretty nice here. $7? It's not bad. It's got something. Not sure what that is. Is that just. Okay. Okay. Got some on my hand now. But it appears to come off. Luckily, I carry wipies, so whatever it is, I'll wipe it off. Looks like chocolate. It's definitely chocolate. Okay. Alright, nothing there, nothing there. Ooh. Looks like somebody took those coconut bowls. That was in this last video I made, which I just rewatched so I can post it. There were coconuts. It's kind of cool, like a little let's go up here. Little holds different things in there. It's old. No, it's not that old. I was gonna say it's older, but no. But those coconut bowls are gone. Did I finish my thought on that? I don't remember. I might get a wipey and clean my finger. Okay, my finger's clean, the dolphin's clean. Let's take a look here. Because if it didn't come off, I was going to leave it behind. Nothing really in there. This cart keeps wanting to take off to the right on me. Never fails. Oh man, there's a puzzle that busted open down there. See, look at this cart. This cart just, like, no matter where I put the cart, like, it just wants to go. Look at it. Now it's just rolling back. Look at this thing. Stop. Look at it. Go right there. And look at it. It just, of course, when it's on camera, it stops. But it has a mind of its own, let me tell you. What we got here is her keep suede fresh. Kyrie's. Pretty beats. Okay. Let's just check this one over here, and then we'll get back into the aisles. Into bedding and stuff. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Okay. Here we are in the miscellaneous pottery, miscellaneous glass. The speaker is right above us, so I'm hoping that the mic, which I'm going to try, yeah, it's on noise cancellation mode, so hopefully it doesn't catch any of the tunes, so I can show you guys what I'm looking at here. It's a random HDMI cord in the wrong spot. Looks like somebody was going through some toys here. Or they brought their toys over here and they were kind of going through it to see maybe if it was worth it or not and left it behind. Or they may have taken stuff out, like in that one right there. See my cart? My cart just keeps wanting to roll to the right. Clear glass is the clear glass today. We're not going to look at it. I mean, I already glanced at it. It's not looking good. Okay, but lots of carts. Nothing really in these carts, though. There's a keyboard bench. What's that brand, though? Portable keyboard bench. Some of these can be pretty well. Built by players for players. Oh, it's a sit down. 3 holes to accommodate legs. Center bolt. I guess not greasy. Storage. black vinyl seat. Don't need it. I thought it was like the holder for a keyboard that you would put the keyboard on top of. That's not it at all. All right. All right.
Yeah, but you know, usually it's not so bad if they steal it.
Media. What's this? Pirates. What is it? Pirates of the Caribbean trading card game? Trading card game. Alright. Here's some actually like PC game Civilization Gold Edition. Has an orange tag on it, so it's probably priced like a DVD. I'll take a look. I'm gonna see what. I'll see. I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna run through the media really quick, and if there's anything notable, I'll let you know. Okay, so we're picking up this amazing Spider-Man Disney Parks hat. First I thought maybe it was a kid size, but it does say adult on the tag. So Disney Parks still has like the original little tag from Disney. It's $2.89, so that's a decent price. Should sell for between $15 to $20 for that one. So we got the dolphin, we got the hat, we got the Lego set. I'm really not seeing anything else. What is this, Cactus Man? I don't know, is that any good? I don't know, because I'm not a clothing guy. I don't really keep up with it. End cap over here. We've got some clear glass. I don't think I have anything to put back, really, so that's not bad. Let me flip this around. But got a few things. You know, again, remember, this is post-holiday, so pretty wild as far as, you know, how many people come out on the holidays. There were lines. There typically are not lines, but on holidays there are. Everybody gets here early. They open up early, 8 a.m. The deals are pretty good. They usually start, you know, 40% off on down. So for our area, that's pretty good. As far as percentage off, what the original price or what the actual price of the items are, you know, who knows. But we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We're going to wrap this video up. Stay tuned for the recap. I need to go with something to eat because the place I was going to eat at is closed. So I need to find another spot really quick before I head on home and list. Hey everyone, welcome to the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed that trip over to Goodwill. Like I said, this is a recent trip, so I filmed this Tuesday. It's coming out on Wednesday, just to show you guys the aftermath of holiday sales over at a couple of Goodwills. Yeah, they run like a 40% off, you know, if you're there in the morning up until about noon. No, I think it's up until about 11. They run a 40% off sale up to 11 on most items. All items that are from retail, 20% off usually all day. And then after 11, it goes down to 30, and after that, it goes down to 20. So yeah, you can get a good discount. But like I said in the videos, they will price them up. And I've talked to Goodwill management. They will hold items, good items, price them accordingly, knowing that there will be a discount, and bring them out and prepare them for the holiday. So, you know, it's just the nature of the game. You know, it is what it is. All, you know, retail does this. This is not unique to Goodwill or thrift stores or anything. Like I think did I mention this in the video or not? But Kohl's notorious for, you walk in there and they'll say on their little tags, they have these like, you know, little LED, like black and white. You can tell they're digital screens, but black and white screens. They'll say something like a crazy price, like $80, and get them now for $50. So, you know, just plays in that mentality of, you know, people thinking they're getting a good deal when, you know, they're actually paying exactly what the business or company wants them to pay. So just keep that in mind, you know, when you're out and about. You know, just something to, like I said, keep in the back of your mind. Just like the other day, is it in a video or not? There was a guy at the flea market, and I went to buy something. I forgot. Do I have it out here? I think I have it over there. I went to buy a Lord of the Rings thing. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. And it was, a checkerboard. Checkerboard, and all the little pieces were the rings, which I thought was really cool, and I really wanted it. I knew it wasn't going to be that much. It wasn't going to be that I might have done that live. I knew it wasn't going to be that valuable, but he wanted $10. And I was like, $10, that's probably what it goes for on eBay. So I was hoping to get it for $5 if I could. And I asked, no harm in asking. And he said, well, I have somebody that looked at it already, and they're going to come back, and I know they're going to buy it. Something to that effect. I know they're going to buy it, or they might buy it. I'm like, all right, dude. You're trying to create this artificial competition here. Just tell me that's your bottom line. That's all you got to tell me. Tell me $10 is my bottom line. That's it. So, and I bought it because I wanted it. So, just tell me, you don't have to play the mind games with me. I know the mind games. I know how to, manipulate a situation to get the price that I want. I've been doing this for a while, but I don't mess with that. I really don't like that. I've also said this before about the walk away. You'd be like, someone says $10, and you go, how about $5? And they say no. Then you turn away and walk away, and hopefully that's supposed to get them to get the seller to be like, oh wait, how about get them into more of get into more of a negotiation, or get them to settle on your price. But I just don't mess with that. If they don't accept it, then I move on. I'll pay what I can pay, and then usually if they don't like it, they don't like it, and I move on down the way. And I think a lot of people already know my strategy. Well, it's not really a strategy. They already know what I do, because I hardly ever get anybody anymore that says, no, wait, come back. I'll do this. I never do that. And I never get that again, because I think everybody kind of knows the way I work there at the flea market. It's either a great price, I can pay exactly what he's telling me. It might not be a good price, but I'll be like, hey, how about this? And if we negotiate, if there's further negotiation, it's already, we handle it quickly. There's no, I'm going to walk away and then we negotiate, as from afar. We don't do that. I don't do that. But otherwise, not that much stuff in the post Memorial Day, sales and all that. So then you may think to yourself, you shipped out 54 items. You only picked up, what did I pick up? 5 or 6 items today for resale, or maybe 5 items are actually for resale. You're like, dang, you don't get that much stuff. How can you, keep your store going? How do you sell so much but only pick up so little? And that is because I don't film everything. I don't film my, everything exactly that I pick up. Like I've said before, here in YouTube world, everything's very edited, and making videos is kind of like a job. So, it's kind of like, like reselling and all that. Sometimes sometimes when I don't feel like listing, I don't list. Sometimes when I don't feel like filming, I don't film. So I have a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff I get, I don't film. But don't worry about it. I got plenty of stuff, and I got plenty of items, within a short radius today. And I was kind of thinking about that when I was on the road today, dropping off packages. And I'm listening to other resellers, and people are saying, well, what are your expenses? You got to have this expense, this expense, this expense. And for some people, those expenses do matter, especially travel time. A lot of people bring up the fact of gas. You got to spend something on gas. You're traveling everywhere. It's going to be expensive to travel. But for me, it's not really that much. Actually, I had to put gas in my car today. But that's like once every about a couple weeks. So, just in my, daily travels, I don't have to go that far, and everything's so close together, on my route. I can go boom, 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 and I hit enough places to have inventory. It's just where I live. I'm fortunate to be able to resell, first of all, and to be in such close proximity to inventory that I need for my business, or eBay, for to put on eBay, stuff to put on eBay. Primarily eBay. We're primarily focused on eBay here. We do sell on Mercari, I haven't sold on Whatnot in a while, but I have sold on Whatnot before in the past. So, my expenses are, I try to keep them as low as possible. I try to keep my buy cost as low as possible. And that's another way to be, it's one of the ways to be successful is to try to keep your, the cost of what it takes to sell an item as low as possible. Now we can talk about, and now we're getting like eBay fees and, all that, because those are also a part of the cost of selling an item. So you have to always take that into consideration. Since I don't have control of the fees that eBay is going to take. I have control of the promotions, so I can kind of adjust it, if I needed to. If it was like, oh man, I spent this much, I got to reduce this, I can manage offers I send out. I can manage whether I put best offer on it or not. I can manage the, my cost of goods. I can negotiate. I can, if you buy more, I mentioned this about shipping supplies. If you buy more, the cost of the individual unit goes down. Same is true. Like when I'm out at the flea market, and I say that bundle, because the individual cost of each item goes down. It doesn't work at Goodwill. It'll work at flea garage sales. That will really work there in bundling. So bundling is very key to getting each individual unit price down. Like last week, I was at the flea market, and at first it was kind of a bummer day. I was like, I'm not really finding anything. Wasn't that much. Not many vendors there, probably because of the holiday coming up. And then there was just a few vendors that had some key items. And one vendor I stopped at, I ended up finding a bunch of small items, like some games here. I got some stuff right here, like got some game. These are PC games, a bunch of PC games, some new stuff as well too. But Command and Conquer, this is like $10. Halo for the PC, about $10. So these individual items don't necessarily meet our profit margin. We try to make about $15 each item if we can. But because I was throwing this in a bundle, and that bundle included a vintage Star Trek game thing, I got to get that listed. That should sell for close to $100. And then I also got a Google Home touchscreen thing, which is kind of like, it was open box. Turned out it was never used. Still had the original plastic on it. And that should sell for about $60 or so. So $160. We spent $40 in the overall deal. So the Google thing will get us kind of into the profit. Or not into the profit. It'll get us to break even on the deal. Then the Star Wars game should get us into the profit. And all these little things here, $10, $10, $10, $10, $10, are all profit. Now these items, I don't mind, I don't mind the fact that they don't meet our profit margin of $15 per item. But it's pure profit at this point. Yes, it's going to take some shipping supplies to get it out. So there will be a cost associated with selling it, including eBay fees. However, these are easy to ship. They go on bubble mailers. Some of these, like this box, I'll probably wrap up in some bubble wrap before I put it in a poly mailer. Padded poly mailer, I should say. Padded poly mailer. This will go on a padded poly mailer and ship out. So the effort that is required to ship these out is very little. If it was something large, if it was something, it was like, all right, I'm going to sell those other things, and then I'm going to sell this and make a $10 profit on this. I'm not gonna do that. I will not pick this up to make $10 on, or to add to my my bundle, right? And it only sells for $10 because this is going to take quite a bit to ship out. Just the size of it's going to require a larger box. So the boxes, once we start talking about boxes, then now we're talking, 40, 50, 60 cents, $1 or so, depending upon this might be like closer to the dollar box almost. So I'm not going to do something like that, but something small like a video game. Yes, I'll do that. Okay. Enough talking. So we survived the weekend of sales, and what I did was staggered my. So we're having a bunch of sales come in. I was predicting it's going to be about 50 sales. come the end of the weekend. So Sunday night, I ended up I pulled orders, all the orders that were already made, pulled all the orders out, got them all ready to go, and ready to get packaged and labeled is what I did. So got them all out of there, and then I went ahead and started processing labels that evening. Just get the ball rolling. I think I got through about close to 20 or so that night, and then the next day, on Monday, I did have to work, but I was able to knock out some more orders towards the evening and get those out. And then Tuesday morning, I just finished it up. I think I had maybe about 12 or so more orders left in the... did I say Monday morning or Tuesday morning? Tuesday morning to do. So I made sure I got the bulk of it, as much as I could do Sunday night, and then Monday. And then, so come Tuesday, when everything had to be out of here and to get it over to the post office, it was very minimal. So very minimal effort in the morning to finish off the job. So that way I'm not just pulling my hair out, trying to get everything packaged and get over to the post office. Yeah, so that's it. Might sound, might be a little, the talking points might be a little scattered everywhere. I don't even know if they're really talking points, but nonetheless. Thank you guys for watching this segment of the video. Let's get over to the what's sold, because that's some great items here that went out. Okay, here we go. Okay, everything will appear right over here as usual. Something just fall. I still got to clean things up here from the shipping. But right off the bat, you guys hear me talk about this brandless sports sack all the time. This was a little wallet. It had tons of organization in it. Really cool little wallet. It was brand new with tags. Sold for $31. Now, while there was a lot of data on the sports sack on eBay, this exact wallet, I couldn't really find anything on it. I was looking, and I'm not when I'm looking. I say I'm researching. I'm not spending that much time. I'm spending just a few minutes here, just going through it. I can scroll through it really quick and try to find something similar. And so I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything on this exact wallet. But there were other sports sack wallets. I priced it up a bit. I priced it at $40 just because it was brand new, and I couldn't really find anything. It was a little unique. It held a checkbook, and I've surprisingly do get people that ask me, does that hold a checkbook? Does that hold a checkbook? So people are still using checks. And so it holds a checkbook, so I thought it was a little bit more special. And there's actually an indication when you're creating your listing in the item specifics, and I forget what part it is in wallets, but there'll be a section for checkbook, and then I check it if it can hold a checkbook. So but really cool. $31 what it sold for, and this was easy to ship out. It goes in a poly bag. You can I used a padded one, but you can put this in an unpadded poly bag. Maybe the zipper can get a little bit damaged, but it would be a long shot. But vintage sports sack wallet. It was an organizer. It had a lot of organizational slots on the inside. Nylon, the sports sack nylon, known for their nylon bags. Bifold. Travel, great wallet, great sale for $31. Definitely look out for the sports sack. Look out for their bags, crossbodies, and their wallets, and brand new too. Because I've sold brand new crossbodies before as well too, and they sell incredibly well and fast, especially if they're brand new. Okay, the next one, I really like the sale. I really like the item too as well. This was Muscle Magazine, Arnold Schwarzenegger in his Terminator 2 T2 attire, I guess. Really cool. So for $49.99. Now this one here definitely did not have any comps at all. There was nothing really for me to go on. Yes, there were other Arnold Schwarzenegger magazines out there that people were selling, but none like this one. None in his Terminator look. None brand new in the original plastic. That also made this a little bit more special. So I didn't really have anything to go on. I priced it up. I priced it at $120, I believe. But I took an offer. I took an offer, $49.99, because I didn't know, and I really didn't want to leave anything on the table. So this definitely sat for about a little over 2 months. It was about 2.5 months, right around my average. And yeah, I really didn't know what it would go for, and so I threw it up there. And sure enough, $49.99, great sales price, and great item. And I even thought about keeping it. As a matter of fact, when I got this one, I picked up some other magazines I actually kept. There was a lot of other alien stuff with this as well too, just stuff from that era. And I kept a lot of this stuff. It was just really cool. Ephemera is what you call this stuff, like the paper products and all that. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, Muscle Mag. Now, there were other, muscle magazines with Arnold Schwarzenegger on it, but those were like $5 to $10. It really, really didn't seem like I wouldn't be picking these up unless they were brand new, sealed in the original package. So definitely look out for it. There is a market for it, and yeah, I just sold it, and so now if you ever come across this, you'll see my comp out there. Okay, another brand you should be on the lookout for is Alpaca. And that is Alpaka. So a little play on the lettering there. But look out for this brand. Some of these bags and everything from this brand sell in the area where Toomey sells. As a matter of fact, Toomey doesn't probably do as good as this brand, because if you check out the data on this, there are some that sell for $80, up over $100. These are small, like, travel bags. I don't see any large bags from this company. This one here was more like a fanny pack that can convert over to a little crossbody, but it was more like a fanny pack. So I ended up selling for $35. I did take an offer on it, but I priced it about, what did I price this at? $80? I think I priced it at $80. I did take an offer on it, a little bit less, because it had been sitting for a while, and it did get a lot of looks at it. I don't know really why this one's, based on the data, it probably should have gone sooner and for a little bit more, but it didn't. I didn't get really any offer. They got a lot of looks, and it had a lot of watchers on it. So I was a little bit confused. A lot of people did ask me about certain information regarding it. Is this the model, or is this what it's made out of? And I didn't really have any of that information. So I don't know. Maybe if I had better information regarding it, better wording regarding this product, but it felt very high end when I picked it up. And I mean, $35. It was still great. We're still making money on it, and it's an easy shipper. It's easy to store, easy to ship, and it's finally moving. But it got a lot of attention. So if you ever see Alpaca, look out for it. It does have good value to it, and it might fly under the radar. I got that at Goodwill. It will fly under the radar at Goodwill's and at the flea market, because I don't think it's a very well-known name. Very well-made product, so kind of easy to spot or to pick up by feel. You'll feel that quality in it, and you'll know it's a good item. And I looked up the name, and sure enough, it came right up, and it was a little bit confusing to me. A little bit confusing, because I thought it would sell a lot better than it did, a lot quicker and a higher price, but it didn't. And maybe it's just not a model that sells really well. Maybe no one really looks for the fanny packs. Maybe more people look for the crossbodies, because those are the ones that were up over $50, $60, $70 or so. So cool item. And that's the solds. We are going to do... I was going to talk about the live show, but when this comes out, I'm going to do the live show, because I'm going to do the live show on Wednesday. I've already put up a post on that on my channel, so look out. Well, you won't be looking out for it, because this video will come out on Wednesday, so never mind. Otherwise, let me know what you guys think of that trip over to Goodwill post-holiday. Let me know how your holiday went, how your holiday sales went. Did you actually get out to Goodwill's to make those sales? Because I didn't. Don't think I was really missing too much in our area, but you always get a little bit of that FOMO, that fear of missing out all the time. Anytime you're not out there sourcing, you always get that fear, like, oh man, I know I missed out on something. And I follow a lot of local people, local resellers around here, and so I'll see them when they're out and about, and I'll see what they find, and I'll be like, dang, that's really cool, that's really cool. Maybe I should have been out there. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't have been listing. Maybe I should have been sourcing. But, you know, hey, can't turn back time. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.